Shout out to all the legends on the live, though. Alright, let's talk about it. So, we were all told that the Earth was a spinning ball from like age 7 up. Oh man, what are you, a flat earther? Yes, actually, the Earth is provably flat. So, we're going to talk about it as is protected by the First Amendment, right? Alright, so apparently NASA went to the moon in 1969 and they saw that the Earth was a beautiful blue marble. This is when we proved the Earth was in fact a globe, 1969, right? Well, the problem with that is NASA hasn't been back to the moon in over 50 years. And not because they chose not to go, under their own admission. I'll quote a world-renowned astronaut, Don Pettit. He said, "I would go back to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is, we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back." So under NASA's own admission, they can't get back to the moon, but we did it in 1969. My iPhone 12 right here has a better processing capability than a warehouse of computers in 69. But apparently technology regresses with one certain thing, and that's the ability to travel to space. Okay, let's talk about space then. Apparently space is a vacuum, a near perfect vacuum, because there's no such thing as a perfect vacuum. There are at least a few hydrogen atoms per cubic meter. So apparently space is a vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr. But we have 14.7 psi at the surface level. This is pressure that you breathe, right? It's how you're alive. You couldn't have a pressurized system adjacent to a near perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr because pressure would fill the available space. This is called the Second Law of Thermodynamics. Entropy will increase, right? It will seek spontaneous equilibrium. A simple way to put this into something that you can think about: if you open up a soda, you remove the container, and so the higher pressure that was built up in the soda equalizes to the lower pressure around it, and you hear it go, psh, right? That's how we equalize pressure. It spontaneously happens, always. It's called the Second Law of Thermodynamics. This is a natural law. It's not a theory. It's not debatable. It happens always, okay? So how could you have a pressurized system adjacent to a near perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr when entropy always increases spontaneously and seeks its equilibrium? What they have defined space as is literally an impossibility. This is why they can't go back. Now, they knew they could fake it in 1969 when people had black and white TVs, and really all they had to do was just tell you they went, and everyone's like, oh, we beat Russia, yeah. But the truth is, they can't go to space. It literally can't exist the way that they defined it. In fact, they say there's something called gravity. Most people here have asked, if I would offer $100 to people, anyone here that could answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth, not one person will win the money, guaranteed, right? So I'm crazy, but I can name all the answers off the top of my head. It's not because I'm a genius or something. It's because I actually looked into it. So when you actually research this, you will find out very quickly there's no evidence for any of these claims I'm about to break down for you. So if I asked everyone here, what is gravity? Most people, if they knew even a little bit, they would say mass attracts mass, right? Mass attracts mass. This is actually called Newtonian Physics. Isaac Newton came up with this, and it was superseded in 1915. So when people say mass attracts mass, they're actually over 100 years behind the current rhetoric. They don't tell you this in school, though, because they don't actually want you to know the specifics of this fairy tale religion called the heliocentric model. It is a religion because it's a belief system built upon the doctrine of men with no empirical evidence. You have to blindly believe in it. Anyway, the current theory is the theory of relativity. This was proposed by Einstein in 1915, built upon special relativity in 1905, which attributed a constant speed to light. Okay? In 1915, they said that the gravity was in fact the effect of the bending and warping of space and time. Yeah. Space is a concept of emptiness, nothingness. It's an idea. It isn't a real thing. Just like a vacuum's not a real thing, space is a concept. Time is also a concept. Many people think time is linear. Well, we quantify it linear, and then we say, well, time's got to be real because I die. I get older. Yeah, your cells degrade. You quantify the passing and something called time as a human construct, a concept, and it's actually based on the cycle of the sky and how long it takes the sun to get back. Space and time are both concepts. You cannot attribute physical properties to concepts. Bending, warping, dilating, those are all physical concepts. Are physical properties. You cannot attribute physical properties to conceptual abstractions. It's called a reification fallacy, given misplaced concreteness. Now, I know a lot of that was a little technical. It's very simple. The point is, the current theory of relativity is inadmissible on its face. It holds no weight whatsoever scientifically. Of course, to make it worse, there's literally no scientific evidence for it. So they say that based on the displacement of mass, there's a gravity well based on the bending and warping of space and time, and that's what keeps everything falling to the ground. Except, of course, butterflies and helium balloons. They're gravity proof. Gravity decides to turn their head whenever it comes to butterflies and helium balloons. Now, the truth is, things go down because they're more dense in the air. If I drop this microphone, it goes down, it's more dense in the air. So if I take a beach ball and I throw it up in the air, it falls down because it's more dense in the air. If I swim to the bottom of a pool and I let go of this beach ball, it will go up. It went up because the density of the medium was changed. Water is more dense. So now it is, in fact, more dense than the beach ball. So to seek equilibrium, the beach ball goes up. It's that simple. Density equilibrium. If you want to get technical, everything's intrinsically electrostatic. But I'm not going to go there right now. Okay, so what they call gravity is literally not true. You might ask yourself, well, why did they say it was? Well, the Earth cannot be a ball without something called gravity. It has to explain omnidirectionality on a ball, right? So there's a ball, and you have to be sticking to all sides of it and not fall off. So the only way you can even theoretically claim that the Earth is a ball is if some immense power was pulling you down in all directions around it. That's literally the only proof for it, is presupposing the Earth's a ball and trying to figure out how that could even be possible. Of course, it is literally impossible in many ways. One of those ways is fluid statics. Okay, fluid statics necessitates water always finds its level. That's a natural law. You will see that consistently the globe Earth makes claims antithetical, fancy word for opposite, to natural law. Okay, so every single time that you ever pour water in anything, it conforms to its container and finds its level. This is why we put fluid in levels, right? Because it always finds a level. That's how we build houses. So when we go out and we look at the ocean and the horizon is horizontal, well, that's why it's called a horizon. It comes from the word horizontal. How could 70% of a ball Earth in a vacuum be level? It couldn't be. So what they will actually tell you is level means curved. But it literally doesn't. It means the opposite of curved. That's how we build houses. I don't think the floor in your house is curved. Okay, when you establish a level, it's horizontal. 70% of this globe Earth is supposed water that's curving, but it's not. So if 70% of it is water, how could 70% of a ball be flat? It literally couldn't. Now you might think, oh, that's a cool theory. Well, the truth of the matter is this isn't a theory or a belief. You can prove it yourself. So actually every single person here that thinks the Earth is a ball, they think that because that's what they were told. They blindly believe it. I'm asking you to do the opposite of that. Do not blindly believe me. I want you to research this if you actually care about the truth. Many people don't, apparently. And go test it yourself. So they say that the globe Earth has a circumference value of 24,901 miles. That means it has a radius value of 3,959 miles. The radius, of course, is the distance from the center to the edge of a circle or a sphere. Okay? Draw a line from the center of a circle to the edge. That's called the radius. The supposed radius of this globe Earth is 3,959 miles. That means it needs to be curving in all directions at a rate consistent with that radius value. This is 8 inches per mile squared up to 1,000 miles. So simply, well, it's not going to sound simple at first. You should see the curvature of the Earth at 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Simply, the square root of 1 is 1. So if you're 1 foot off the surface of the Earth, you should see the curvature of this ball Earth at 1.25 miles away. We have an observation off the coast of California, 1 foot off the surface of the Earth, where you actually see the horizon over 10 miles away. This would require the radius of a ball be 264,000 miles. So that's a little off, isn't it? Either it's under 4,000 miles or it's over 250,000 miles. Now, of course, the Earth doesn't have a radius of a sphere, it's flat. The Earth is also geocentric. That means it's the center of everything. They say it's heliocentric, which means it goes around the sun. The sun's the center of the solar system, the solar system. It lures your soul. That's probably a coincidence, though. So we're going 66,600 miles per hour around the sun. I want you guys to take note how many times 666 pops up. Probably another coincidence, though. So we're going 66,600 miles per hour around the sun, while we're spinning 1,040 miles per hour east at the equator. The curvature rate of the Earth, as I told you a second ago, is 8 inches per mile squared. That's 0.666 feet per mile squared. We are in a 23.4 degree tilt. That, of course, taken from a 90 degree right angle, is 66.6. So we're also on a 66.6 degree tilt. Supposedly, the diameter of the moon is 2,160 miles. This is 6 times 6 times 60. The circumference of the Earth in nautical miles is 21,600. That's 6 times 6 times 600. Now, the number for gravity is 6.6666, rounded up to 6.67. Now, I'm sure this is all a coincidence. The Luciferians that are actually typically Masons would never ever make a joke in front of your face and then stamp their signature all over it and just know that you would never catch up. No way there are evil people that know knowledge is power, and if they keep more of the power to themselves, it's much more powerful. Anyway, so we discussed how space cannot actually exist as is defined. We discussed how gravity is just a concept that has no evidence, and butterflies and helium balloons apparently defy it. Of course, helium balloons go up because they're lighter than the surrounding air. Once again, that's called density. It has nothing to do with gravity. And we also discussed how the Earth has to curve at a certain rate, which is 8 inches per mile squared. You have to see the curvature at 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. I want everyone to really understand this. The Earth has to curve at that rate. I've been testing it for 5 years, measuring it with long-distance observations. We have a ton of them on my iPad. If when I get off the mic, you want to see them. The question is, how many of you have tested the Earth? How many of you have seen the curvature of the Earth when you look over the ocean? Not one person here. The horizon's always horizontal over the ocean because, well, water always finds its level. So let's just put it in really simple terms. If I walk up to a hill, I cannot see through the hill to the other side because there's a hump there. There must be physical obstruction, a tangible location, a physical location that blocks the view of the observer if it is a ball. Because things are going down and away from you on the other side of a ball. This never happens. We have an observation in France where we can see mountains from over 200 miles away. And actually, based on the curvature math of the globe Earth, these mountains should be obstructed by over 1 mile of Earth curvature. But instead, they are in fact completely visible from top to the base of the mountain. This is a literal impossibility on the globe Earth. Now, what they would have you believe is something called refraction happened. It's a mirage. It lifted the mountains 1 mile in the air and stopped right where it would look flat. The truth is that the Earth is flat all over the place. And the only people that claim to be able to prove otherwise is NASA, a governmental agency, but the government would never lie, right? They just start wars. They just build the Federal Reserve, a Ponzi scheme. They lie about every single piece of intel about the wars. They love to push synthetic medicine while stifling organic remedies. But the government would never lie when it comes to NASA. It's the one exception. So let's talk about NASA. NASA was founded in the 50s. This was right after they signed the Antarctic Treaty, which prohibits free and private exploration past the 60th south latitude. So as people sit around and smirk and think I'm dumb, the truth of the matter is you're literally not allowed to privately explore the Earth. Russia, China, the United States, all these geopolitical adversaries, they've all agreed that, well, you're not allowed as humans to explore past the 60th south latitude. Effectively on a flat Earth, they circle around you. On a globe Earth, they circle around the bottom. It's literally illegal now. The problem with this is how you would prove if it's a ball or not. You would do something called circumnavigation, north to south. The only type of circumnavigation that's ever been done and will ever be done is east to west. You can do this. It's the same on a flat Earth. If you have a circle, you have a center. The compass faces towards the magnetic source in the center. As you go east or west, it constantly updates to the center, i.e. north, and you go in a circle, come back to where you started. What would be impossible on a flat Earth is going around the ball north to south. You could not circumnavigate a flat Earth north to south, but it's literally illegal, and every single major world superpower has agreed you're not allowed to explore that area. It's called the Antarctic Treaty. This was signed within 1 year of the founding of NASA. So basically they said, look, you're not allowed to go here, but look at space. We're going up there, I promise. Here's a movie that glitches out with the flag blowing in the wind on the moon.
That's fake too.
Yeah, the moon landing is fake.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So are birds.
Not quite. So apparently they were able to call the president with no delay from the moon 238,000 miles away in 1969. But when SpaceX went up a few weeks ago and we went and documented it, they had a 1.5 second delay in 2021. Of course, parabolic trajectory is all rockets do. That just means it goes up and it comes back over and goes down. They admit this. They say it's free falling around the ball in a vacuum. Of course, it is not. Now the funny part is most people don't know anything about this model, but they think that it's crazy I'll test it or have the audacity to question it. Well, maybe you should ask yourself why it is that I've been forcibly censored for speaking this truth. If it's a crazy conspiracy theory, why have I been kicked off PayPal? Literally, I've been kicked off of PayPal because I'm a flat earther. I've been kicked off of Venmo because I'm a flat earther. I've been censored off of YouTube and every other social media platform because I'm a flat earther. We should question it. At the least, we should all agree I have the First Amendment, right? Well, what they have done is literally admit in Congress that this is quote-unquote dangerous misinformation, and it must be censored and not allowed to be spoken about.
You need to spread the word.
That's what I'm doing. It's so dangerous for me to tell you that you're not a tiny speck of dust in an ever-expanding universe of nothingness, expanding equally in all directions, even though it's not supposed to be, based on the radiation and background test that NASA has done over the course of 20 years. Under their own admission, there's equal distribution away from the center of the Earth, but that's a little technical. Most people don't even know what the size of the Earth is supposed to be. So they say that theory of relativity is the cause of gravity, and that the fabric of space and time bend and warp. Now applying the theory of relativity to the universe, they are off by 95% in their own maths. I'm stupid for not blindly believing a fairy tale where the math itself is off by 95%. 95% of the space that supposedly is occupied with the theory of relativity is dark matter and dark energy, undefined mathematical discrepancies within their mathematical equations. So in 2021, they still can explain 95% of it. This guy's showing me a cartoon. It must mean that the Earth's a ball.
Wait, what is this?
That's a cartoon picture of the Earth, so I'm glad you brought it up. So if you go to your little dumb phones here and you get on Google, you can Google Robert Simmons, NASA.gov, blue marble. And I'm about to quote exactly what it says on there, or damn near. Okay, so what it says is that we actually take high altitude pictures, we stitch them together on a flat map surface, we then wrap it around the ball, we bring an artist in to do an artist rendition to match what the observer expects to see. A direct quote from this artist, Robert Simmons, for the infamous blue marble picture that was the default wallpaper on all iPhones when they first came out. He said, yeah, of course it's photoshopped. It has to be. So there literally aren't real pictures of the Earth from space as a ball, according to NASA themselves. I'm so crazy that I don't believe in cartoons as an adult. And some of you are not, but you should think for yourself. How about you ask your science teacher, if the necessary antecedent of pressure is containment, how can we have pressure next to a vacuum? What's containing the pressure? The second law of thermodynamics necessitates entropy will increase. So ask them, because they won't answer. There's not an answer. I debate astrophysics professors, PhDs, all the people revere, a piece of paper that you had to go in depth for. There is no answer to this question. It's a natural law. The second law of thermodynamics necessitates pressure fills the available space. Entropy will always increase. So you can't have a vacuum next to a pressurized system. It's literally impossible. It's in the word pressure. Press. It presses on the walls of a container. That's how you have it. That's how you have tire pressure. Well, it's in a tire. That's how you have a soda with pressure, because it has a cap on it. As soon as you open it, it doesn't have higher pressure anymore. It's literally the most rudimentary, basic physical law that we all know to exist. Heat goes to cold, high pressure migrates to low pressure. When I make a cup of coffee and I sit it out, it immediately cools off. What's your question?
Is there a place I can get this full?
Yeah, Witsit gets it on YouTube. WITSIT. Gets it, T-E-T-S-I-T. If you don't type it in perfectly, of course you won't find it because I am shadow banned, but this is a free country, right? Yeah. And the funny part is that most of the people don't care about anything but TikTok and posting for the gram. I wonder if any of the teachers can answer the question, how do we have a pressurized system adjacent to a near-perfect vacuum if the second law of thermodynamics necessitates that entropy will increase? You have a good one. Think for yourself. Don't blindly believe what you're told.
I believe you.
Don't believe me. Just go research it and test it yourself. So according to the globe Earth, when we have what are called sunsets, apparently the sun moves through the sky the entire day, but actually it's sitting still, and we're falling backwards 1,000 miles an hour, and it just looks like it's moving. That's a pretty cool story. Or there's another option, of course. The sun moves away from you in the sky. For all recordable history, the star trails have reset around the North Star called Polaris. The Egyptians actually built a megalithic structure that lines up with the same exact stars to this day, thousands and thousands of years later. Now, if you're spinning 1,040 miles per hour east of the equator, while going around the sun 66,600 miles per hour, while the sun shoots 500,000 miles per hour through space, and the galaxy shoots 1.3 million miles per hour through space, you would have what's called parallax, an observable change in the motion of the stars. This has never been documented or observed in the history of mankind. Every single star resets in concentric circles around the center year after year after year after year. This is, of course, how we have a calendar. We have 77 constellations because they're constant. They're always there. The sky just resets over top of us. It's a clock, effectively. You're not shooting through an empty vacuum. That's dumb. So if there's no evidence of motion, no evidence of curvature, no evidence that you could have a space vacuum next to pressure, what is the empirical evidence that we went to the globe? You must solely depend your entire worldview on NASA. But what about Elon Musk? That's a private company. He went to space. Actually, he gets hundreds of millions of dollars of grants from the government. He admits that he would never have gotten to space without the help of NASA. So it's the same thing. They realized that people were losing faith in the government. Reasonably so. They just start wars all over the world. So what they did was they told you that a private company was going to space. Elon Musk wants to save you. That's why he wants to put a chip in your brain, because he's a hero. Of course, I went and documented 2 different launches, and they're parabolic trajectories. They shoot them over the water where you can't verify where they go. They go up, they come back over. It's called a parabolic trajectory. Every single rocket ever shot. I got a little digress there. I forgot to tell you guys about the Nazis. I mean NASA. So NASA, founded in the 50s, 1 year within the Antarctic Treaty, they did something called Operation Paperclip. This is where we brought Nazi scientists over and put them in charge of space exploration. So no, we didn't hang them for war crimes against humanity. We didn't put them on trial for treason. We revered them as quote-unquote scientific geniuses, and we put them in charge of space exploration, the new final frontier of America in 1969. Did Americans get us to space? No, it was the Nazis. So Operation Paperclip, you can actually look it up yourself. It's declassified. We brought Nazi scientists over to America, and we put an SS officer by the name of Wernher von Braun in charge of space exploration. Now this guy on his tombstone has 19:1 of Psalms. Psalms 19:1 says that the firmament shows the handiwork of the Creator. The firmament, of course, is an impenetrable container, which is how you have pressure. So he let the secret out discreetly on his deathbed. This guy, when he wasn't basically trolling Americans to be stupid, as he would have said in his own words, he actually also was a science fiction author. So he wrote a book in the 50s, a science fiction book, and the main character's name was Elon. And guess what Elon did in this book? He founded the first civilization on Mars. Fast forward to 2021, we have a dude named Elon Musk that's supposedly about to take us to Mars. I bet that's a coincidence. You can fact check every single thing that I've said. Almost every single thing that I've said is declassified on the government's own websites. They know you won't read it. They know that you're just trying to post for the gram. They know that you just watch 30-second TikTok videos all day. They know that you watch CNN or Fox News. You got to pick one, because if you don't pick one, you're not a patriot. And you argue about stupid things all day. You actually would never care about knowing where you live, right? Well, what are the ramifications of this lie? Because the number one thing I get whenever people can't debate any of this because they know nothing about it, they say, well, it doesn't even matter. You're a crazy person. What does it even matter? Who cares if the earth is flat? Well, that's a good question. What does it matter? Well, for one, NASA, that's the White House. Yeah, the House of Treason. They take $60 million a day. NASA gets paid $60 million a day. Whoa, drop the speaker. Oh, I'm sorry. So NASA gets paid $60 million a day, but that's no big deal. I mean, the government always takes money from us, right? They still win more than $60 million a day from us, so why else would they lie? I mean, the government would never lie for money. They never lie for money, so that's not a good reason.
The Pentagon stole $12.9 million and $7.4 trillion only 9 years apart.
Yeah, the Pentagon loves to steal money. Ironically enough, they came out and admitted that $2.1 trillion were missing the day before 9/11. But don't worry, we had the biggest domestic attack in American history the next day. It happened to hit the very area of the Pentagon where all this missing money was documented. But that's just a coincidence. So we take $60 million a day from the American people on behalf of NASA. There's also something I told you about called the 60th South Parallel. You're not allowed to freely traverse past this. It's called the Antarctic Treaty, which means they could be hiding land, the most valuable thing known to man, the most valuable asset there is. Not gold, not silver, not paper, little Illuminati rectangles, land. They hide the land. But here's the most important thing. It changes the fact that there has to be a creator. It doesn't really matter if you get in your feelings about this. It doesn't change objectivity. I've given nothing but empirical evidence. If the Earth is geocentric, which means the center of everything, which it provably is, it's stationary, then it had to be placed there. How could the Earth be stationary and the center of all existence if it wasn't put there? It had to be put there. This law has huge ramifications. So your cogdiss, which is cognitive dissonance, holding two opposing ideals simultaneously and then basically shutting down and diverting, all right? Your cogdiss wants to tell you that it doesn't matter. The truth is that it does matter, and that little cogdiss excuse has now been eliminated. Either the Earth is a tiny speck of dust in an ever-expanding universe where everything came from nothing and then lightning struck primordial soup and rocks turned into fish that then decided to grow some feet, jump out the water, turn into rodents, then turn into apes, and turn into humans. Well, that's impossible because that takes billions of years of this tiny speck of dust. The truth is that the Earth is the center of everything. Of course, the Big Bang Theory is what people think is real. They've never read it, though. Don't worry, guys. I've read it. I'll help you out. It was proposed by a Jesuit priest, a Catholic priest. So supposedly this is number one proof to explain there isn't a creator or a God. And it was actually proposed by a religious priest. His name is George Lamonte. The Big Bang Theory actually says there was a pre-existing energy. So it wasn't that everything came from nothing, as many people say. Actually, it says there was a pre-existing energy. It doesn't even answer the question. There's not even a viable postulation in 2021 to explain how the beginning of the universe got here without being created. Of course, it was created. The necessary antecedent to creation is a creator. The Fibonacci sequence shows you this, the golden ratio. There's nothing but evidence for the fact this place was created. They can't even explain the human eyes, the vestibular system, the semicircular canals in your vestibular system, which is in your ear. Of course, those detect the slightest change in angular motion. You would never be able to be spinning 1,040 miles per hour right now and not feel it. If you tilt your head to the left, you feel it. Whenever you're drinking, you lay down to get the spins. Guess what they tell you to do to stop spinning? To put your feet on the ground that isn't moving. The Earth is not moving. The sky moves over top of us. And it's all around Polaris, this North Star, which is the central point, and it's directly over the center of the surface of the Earth. Don't worry, though. It's illegal to traverse that location, too. You can't privately explore within 500 miles of each direction of the North Pole or past the 60th south latitude. The governments of the world have conspired together and told you that you humans, of the population, cannot freely explore the world. And I'm crazy because I'm trying to stand up for your rights for free traversing of the Earth, and for the fact that they've lied to you about just about everything, stealing $60 million a day to do so. So it's probably a coincidence. The two things that would prove the Earth's ball would be able to circumnavigate it north to south, and both those locations are forcibly cut off from free exploration from every single world superpower that exists. Russia, China, America, Iraq, they're all enemies, except for when it comes to not letting you guys travel the Earth. So if you actually were able to go to the North Pole, what you could do is take what's called a 90-degree zenith angle. That's an angle to the sky. So you would actually take an angle straight from Polaris, go straight down into the geographical North Pole. This is illegal to do, and it doesn't exist. This would be the world's most famous picture, right? You'd have a picture in the center of the rotation above the Earth, and it doesn't exist. It's literally illegal for you to try to go get it, too. You can't even go. It's typically dark during the winter. You're not allowed to even take approved guided tours to the supposed North Pole during the winter. So you couldn't prove it was the North Pole. You're only allowed to go during the daylight. And this is, of course, because that isn't actually the center. They have lied. They don't let you go within 500 miles of each direction. Now, you can dismiss all of this because it's a little uncomfortable, but once you actually open your mind, you'll find out this is good news. Right? Because you're special. The Earth is special. It's the center of everything. It doesn't really matter how you feel about it. Now, people don't want to acknowledge there's a creator, but it's just empirical. It's an antecedent relationship. That means a requirement. The necessary antecedent to creation is a creator. If it is the center of everything, it was created, and it was. And of course, newsflash, the scriptures are actually true, but I'll leave that on the side burner for now. I know you guys are going to get triggered. So anyway, if 70% of this Earth is water and fluid statics necessitates water always finds its level, how has it bending convexly around the exterior of a spinning spherical object in a vacuum? It couldn't. Well, how is there an atmosphere? Well, that's actually a contradiction of terms. Gases have no inherent shape, so they're not spheres. That's a reification of sphericity, assuming there's a ball. But the truth is, of course, gas goes in all directions. It's called omnidirectional dispersal. It's instantaneous. So if I let gas out of a container at the surface level where gravity is supposed to be the strongest, it goes in all directions. All directions includes up. Up is directly the opposite of down. Well, gravity claims to have a vector of down relative to the center of mass. If gravity's holding gas down next to a vacuum, how come it doesn't do it where gravity's the strongest at the surface whenever the gas goes directly up? It's because, of course, gravity isn't an actual thing. It's called density. That's why butterflies can fly. Side note, actually, bumblebees are not aerodynamic. According to gravity, bumblebees shouldn't be able to fly. The way that they can fly, though, is they have a resonance frequency, and that actually gives them a flight path. They can go through 60 mile per hour crosswinds unaffected, a little bumblebee. It's because they have a resonance that effectively is like a little UFO that buzzes around. This is why they actually sting you when you freak out. Your body emits frequencies, they freak out, you mess up their flight path, they sting you. Anyway, it's actually called electrostatics. So the only force that there is magnetism, i.e. electrostatics. Those are intrinsically tied together. Electrostatics is known to be 10 to the 39th power stronger than gravity even claims to be. So if you can't isolate gravity, how could you know it's there? Because something that's 10 to the 39th power, that's 39 zeros, stronger than gravity is always present. You could never find gravity. The problem is, electrostatics would never make giant balls in a space vacuum spin around one another. It's impossible. It's way too weak. Yeah, it's way too weak, even though 10 to the 39th power stronger than gravity claims to be. So what they say is, out in this magical space vacuum, it just changes, and then all of a sudden, it's gravity's strongest. Just trust us, we've been there. Gravity isn't a real thing, but if gravity's not a real thing, the Earth couldn't be a ball. The Earth isn't a ball because I've been testing it for 5 years. I've been measuring it all over the Earth. We have tens of millions of people measuring it all over the Earth. You might think flat Earth is some niche thing that no one knows about. There are hundreds of millions of people that know the true nature of the Earth. It's being heavily censored. You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it. I have one of the more popular flat Earth channels. If you go to YouTube, it'll say I have 6,000 subs. I've watched thousands of subs pop up overnight, but my number never changed. I've been shadow banned. I've been kicked off over and over. And the question is, if this is such an archaic, crazy idea, why is it that it's being forcibly censored? You should ask yourself that. Why did they put out something called the Flat Earth Society? That's misinformation. Not one real flat earther believes anything that the Flat Earth Society says. That's the one group that isn't censored. Even Barack Obama, the psychopath who used to have this residence back here, he said, we don't have a meeting for the time of the Flat Earth Society. Well, that's a cool story, Barack, but no one actually thinks that. No one thinks that we're a little disk in a solar system shooting up 9.8 meters per second squared. That's pseudoscience. Flat earthers know the Earth doesn't move. See, the truth is, flat earther is a stupid term. You are all flat earthers because the Earth is flat, right? You just don't know it yet. The truth is, you're a globe earther because you blindly believe the Earth's a ball that defies all of your observations, all of physics, because they told you so with cartoons when you were in second grade. But the Earth is not a spinning ball in a vacuum. There's literally no proof for it at all. And you should ask yourself, why in 2021 we're still just getting cartoons according to NASA themselves? So here, what we're going to do now, after hearing all this, I've actually answered numerous of the questions I'm going to ask about the globe Earth. If anybody can get 3 answers right about the globe Earth, I'll give them $100 cash. You can't lose anything, right? Because if you don't get the answers right, you don't got to pay me any money. I'm just going to give you a friendly gift, $100, for actually knowing about your pseudoscience model. So if anybody wants to come up here and try to get $100, I'll get it out. But all right, come on, bro. No, nobody in the background with Google. All right.
Pull it up. Pull it up.
All right. So the first question is super easy, bro. How many times does the globe Earth spin every 24 hours?
That's 1.
1, you're right. Okay, 1 is the answer. All right, good job. The second question is, how far away is the sun?
39 AMU.
Wrong.
That's true.
93 million miles. Sorry, you lost. I still love you though. And dude, you know, here, I'll give you $20 for participating. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to give everyone $20 for participating, but you can try if you want to. Yeah, y'all can try together.
Can we have like a minute to think?
You can think, yeah, but put your phone up.
I don't know the password. It's my friend's phone.
All right, it's cool. Just throw it in your pocket, man. Actually, just don't look at it. I'll trust you, man. It's all good. Okay, so what is the circumference of the globe Earth? Pretty close. I'm not going to give you pretty close, but it's 24,901 miles. I would have given you 24 or 25, but I can't do 20. But it's okay. It's okay. You're pretty close. You know, it's better than most people. But I mean, I'm giving you $100. You got to get the answers right. You know?
Ask him another question.
Anyway. If anybody else thinks they can get them, I mean, there's only so many I can ask, right? So they're going to continuously get easier, you would think, but I know all these metrics off the top of my head. I'm the crazy, stupid flat earther, though, and no one's gotten my $100 yet. The amount of money I've given away is $20 in 3 days, and that was participation reward. So no one knows any, and the point of this game is that it makes the point that no one actually knows what the Earth supposedly is, right? So I'm crazy for not believing it. I know every single one of these answers off the top of my head, as do just about every single flat earther there is. Because you know what we did? We went and learned the model that we were just shown cartoons of, right? We went and learned it, and then we tested it. We know all the answers. There's not one globe earther that walks the streets that seems to know the basic answers. I'm not asking you to define the theory of relativity. I'm asking you the basic numbers of the globe earth model. And no one knows them. That should make you think, why did they not teach us more efficiently so that we really knew what the model claims? And how is it that you could claim that we're crazy when you don't even know what the model claims yet? You haven't even figured out what it is you believe in, right? We know what you believe in, we used to believe in it, and now we no longer believe in it. See, people say flat earth is a cult, that's a joke. Yeah, we're brainwashing you to think for yourself. Flat earth is not a cult, we're telling you to break out of the cult. We're sitting out here pointing at you saying, hey bro, you're in a cult, dude. You believe blindly based on cartoons and pseudoscientific fairy tales and stories from the government saying they went to space in '69 but they can't go back because it's too painful of a process to build the technology back. What a joke. They're just lying, and it's not a big deal, but we need to come together and acknowledge the fact that, well, this isn't just about America or Russia or China. These countries are working together. They've all agreed you can't go past the 60 south latitude. They all agreed to the Antarctic Treaty. All of them. So it's not like America and Russia are enemies. America and Russia and Canada have to be working together to hide the North. They're friends. Yeah, so they give a public appearance of division, kind of like politics does, right? Yeah, right and left, they act like they're really on the opposite side. But why was Hillary Clinton on the second row of Donald Trump's wedding? That doesn't make any sense. I thought they hated each other. See, these people are on the same team. It's them against you. These governments are on the same team, and it's you against them. And if we don't come together, then we're in trouble. See, what happens is you guys want to attack me because I'm telling you the truth. I'm out here telling you the truth, bro. And you should open up your mind. You should test it yourself. If anyone thinks they got to answer a question I can't answer, come up here, stump me. Stump the dumb flat earther. Come ask me a question that proves the Earth's a ball. But none of you can do that. I'll give $100 to anyone that can answer 3 basic metric questions of the globe Earth. $100. If you get them wrong, there's nothing to lose here. You don't have to pay me. If I tell you the question while you're over there with your phone in your hand, this is not sounding legit. The first question is simple. Were you here earlier? All right, I'll make up a new one. What's the radius of the Earth? Yeah, no one knows. I've already said it out here 4 times. Half the diameter. That's pretty slick. I might would let you keep skating in the game just because it's kind of funny. The radius of the Earth is 3,959 miles. If you Googled it to come up here, you can come up here if you want to. $100 cash to get them right. All right, you got it, bro. All right, he's taking a picture. Sorry, I won't mess up your shot for the gram. So yeah, I just wanted to make a point. I made the point all over the city. I make the point all over the country. I've actually had to go to where we're now traveling the U.S. doing this because we've been so actively censored. And this is very important because I told you why it's important. All the countries are working together. They take $60 million a day at NASA. They tell you you're a tiny speck of dust in the ever-expanding universe. Better watch out because the asteroid's about to hit you. You know the truth is? Everything that you've ever observed is the truth. When you wake up and you don't feel the Earth spinning, guess why? Because the Earth isn't spinning. Whenever you look up and you see stuff move in the sky, you know why? Because the stuff in the sky is moving. Whenever you look out over water and you see the horizon's horizontal, you know why? Because it's horizontal. It's flat. That's what the word horizon means. It comes from horizontal. Everything you've ever observed is what the truth is. The Earth is always observed flat. The Earth is always felt to not be moving, and the sky is always observed to be moving. You breathe something called oxygen, that's how you stay alive. You couldn't have pressure without it being contained. It couldn't sit next to a vacuum. Every single time you've ever seen pressure, yeah, that's empirically what the parameters of pressure is. It needs a container. That's how you have pressure. See, it builds up energy. It's the energy or force exerted on the walls of a container. That's actually defined on NASA's own website. They're effectively laughing at you, admitting that the blue marble was a photoshopped cartoon, an artist rendition, and I'm crazy because I don't believe in cartoons, I guess. So I guess I'm probably going to take a break. No one's going to take the $100, I guess, or at least try. And I understand because you get put on the spot and
Your battery's not. I already tapped it.
Oh, we got 17.
All right.
In a second, I'm just going to charge the phone for a second and talk to the chat. So in conclusion, what I will tell you is the Earth is not a tiny speck of dust. You're not randomly here. Everything didn't pop out of nothing. Those are the stupidest postulations I've ever heard in my life. Next to evolution, of course, which there's no intermediate species. They just all died off and everything came from nothing. And rocks turned into humans, which is called abiogenesis, the postulation that organic life can actually stem from inorganic matter, which is
So you
obviously...
believe in magic?
That's what the globe Earth believes in.
You believe in magic?
Yeah, the globe Earth believes in magic. You're right, sir, because it believes that water magically bends around the exterior of a spinning spherical object, even though that defies fluid statics. The ball Earth believes that magically the gas pressure around here conforms to a spherical motion of an outside of a ball inside of a vacuum. Yeah, that's magic. You're making claims antithetical to all empirical evidence, all natural law, all scientific evidence in the history of mankind. Claims antithetical, that means opposite too. They cannot coexist. They are the opposite. You're making claims antithetical to all scientific evidence ever, and you can't provide one shred of empirical evidence to even show that it's possible. You can't show water bending around the outside. I'll give all the money in my pocket if someone wants to come and show me water bending around the outside of a spinning sphere and sticking to the outside of it. No one can do that. There's actually a $1 million reward for anyone that can, offered by one of the flat earthers. $1 million. $1 million. It'll never be taken. It can't happen. It defies physics. See, physical laws aren't about your opinion. They're not subjective. You just want to be able to go to space. You just watch space shows and Star Wars your whole life. You still play video games that say you can go to space. You want space to be real because it makes you special because you learned what the string theory is. The truth of the matter is, space isn't real. It doesn't matter if you want it to be or not. It's just like a child that wants to be in Dora the Explorer. Dora is not real, bro. So the truth is that you need to step outside the box of conformity and think for yourself. And don't get it twisted. You will probably get ostracized and attacked as you start to tell people this. That's because people are weak-minded. The weak find contentment in the consensus of ignorance. Okay? Intelligent people don't care what dumb people think. They go find the truth and they speak it. They seek and speak truth unequivocally. Alright? So it's only the people that are like actually controlled by mob rule. Right? Mob rule, the idea of the crowd, the collective, the majority, that's what controls what they think. That makes you dumb. And the truth is, an infamous quote from Mark Twain, it's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. It is your pride and ego that gets in the way. It is the fact that you want to be cool in front of people in public. You gotta act like somehow you're the smart person and the flat earthers are dumb because you think that's the safer position to be. It's easier for you to pretend you weren't fooled, right? It's easier for me to fool you than to convince you that you've been fooled. It's just pride and ego. Swallow your pride, humble yourself, and just go test it yourself. $100 if you want to come up here. $100 you want to answer any questions? If you can answer 3 basic globe earth questions, you get $100 cash. Alright. Well, no surprise there because no one can answer it. And the truth is, we're not even getting into the unanswerable questions, which is how can you have pressure without a container? How can water bend around the outside of a ball when fluid statics necessitates water flying at this level? I'm just asking you the story. I'm asking you the fairy tale that I'm crazy for not believing in. And I'll say this one more time just so you can really take this in. There's something called Freemasonry. Now, majority of people that are Freemasons, they don't actually even know what's going on. That's how you keep a cover. See, they let you in Freemasonry. You have to do your rituals. You have to retain the information to move up. They give you access to the libraries, but they don't make you go in the library. They sit back and they see how good you do to pass the IQ test effectively. If you don't find out the Earth's flat, you'll never become a 33rd degree Mason. You can get up to 32. You have to be voted on and brought in to the 33rd degree. Their own literature tells you that the Earth is flat numerous times. Albert Pike, the only Confederate soldier to have a statue outside in this pagan idolatry city, right? Albert Pike. Yeah, he's one of the most infamous Freemason writers ever. He tells you that the Earth is flat. He also tells you that they are Luciferians. This is actually revealed to you in the 33rd degree. Unless, of course, you were smart enough to go read the literature, which means that's the only way you can get to the 33rd degree. Well, they just straight up confirm it to you when you hit 33. They're Luciferians. What they say is that they are collectively Lucifer. It's the idea of collective intellect and reason. This is why they're sun worshippers. They say the sun is the symbol of the perfect embodiment of intellect and reason and enlightenment. They're Luciferians. Now, the reason I told you this is because they know what the earth is. They told you a different story. Now listen to the numbers in their story, because these are Luciferians, and if you've ever heard of the number 666, well, the scriptures tell you that's the number of the enemy. Now you may think that the scriptures are crazy and wrong and stupid and archaic and blah, 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 blah. That's a cool story. But the truth is that people that are way more wealthy than this guy, that have way more power than this guy, that control the world, they know that the earth is flat, and they know the scriptures are real, and they know what 666 means. See, the fact is, they think they can collectively beat the Creator in the end, because they'll get their metaphysical power that we already have, but they get to go around the Creator to do so. Okay? And they have to adhere to natural law. That means they have to put the answer out in front of you, and you have to trick yourself. That's why when you look at the Disney emblem, the Disney logo, it has a firmament, and then the top of the tower goes through the firmament. Just like the Tower of Babel was trying to do. They're trying to get through the firmament. So anyway, the point is that the number 666 is attributed to the enemy, and this is what the entire model is built upon. They say we go 66,600 miles per hour around the sun. Again, they worship the sun. That's why they tell you that everything goes around the sun. That's why the sun is the center of everything. They're sun worshippers. So again, under their own quotes, they say the sun is symbolic of the perfect embodiment of intellect and reason and enlightenment. They worship the sun. Actually, the second ritual in Freemasonry is you have to imitate the path of the sun over the earth, but they don't tell you which one it is. They don't tell you if it's the earth or the sun. You have to figure it out, or you're not allowed to move up to the 33rd degree. So we're going 66,600 miles per hour around the sun. We're on a 23.4 degree tilt. Of course, they tell you that number, but that also means you're on a 66.6 degree tilt, because 90 degree right angle, if you subtract 23.4, you get 66.6. We're on both of those axis tilts. Okay, so we're on an axial tilt of 66.6 degrees, going 66,600 miles per hour. The number for gravity is 6.66666, rounded up to 6.67. The curvature rate of the Earth, based on the radius value, is 8 inches per mile squared. That's 0.666 feet per mile squared. The circumference of the Earth in nautical miles is 21,600. That is 6 times 6 times 600. The diameter of the moon is 2,160. 6 times 6 times 60. You sound like a conspiracy theorist. The truth is, you sound like a coincidence theorist. Oh, look at all these 666s that popped up out of nowhere that defy physics, that have no empirical evidence, that we're not allowed to freely traverse the Earth to see if it's real or not. You are actually standing up with the most totalitarian, evil people in the world that have all agreed we can't travel past the 60th south latitude. We can't go explore Antarctica, which would prove it's a ball. I just want to go prove it's a ball, so I can go back to getting a 6-figure job instead of being fired for being a flat earther. Why can't I just go prove the Earth's a ball? It's illegal to do so. Every country in the world's agreed. And if you're being honest, you know that that's ridiculous. That makes no sense. We're supposed to be enemies. Oh, but we got to save the penguins. You can't commercially fly over Antarctica. You got to save the penguins. All right, so there you go. That's the conclusion. The Earth is a geocentric stationary plane. Geocentric meaning the center of everything, just like you observe. The sky resets for all recordable history around the center star. All recordable history. Thousands of years. Every single ancient civilization that exists, they knew what the Earth was. In fact, truth bomb for you guys, the ancient civilizations weren't quite as primitive as they said. Egypt was very advanced. Have you ever looked into what the pyramids were really for? Yeah. They had free energy a long time ago. The ancient civilizations were very advanced. Take it or leave it, that's a side note. They all knew what the Earth was. Every single civilization that exists. There was one little group of psychopathic pedophiles called the Greeks, who literally were openly pedophiles. They had little boys that they kept around with them as an apprentice. It was just accepted in society. These people came up with the fact that the Earth's a ball. Why? Well, they believe that the perfect shape is a sphere. It's a religion. It's a religion. They believe the perfect shape is a sphere, so the Earth, where we live, it has to be a sphere. And then, it's called an ontological premise. It's philosophical. It's metaphysical. It's a religion. Okay? You guys are religious. It's so funny that people think they're atheists or the most religious zealots out there. It's hilarious. You have blind belief in something you don't even know yet. It's like me going into a church, someone telling me the Bible's real, and they've never read Genesis. I studied Genesis, bruh. You know? Like, I studied your religion. I know if it's real or not. I tested it. You don't even know your religion yet. That's called zealotry. You have blind faith and belief in a story that the system told you. How many times does the system have to screw us over before you learn to think for yourself? Do they have to start another war? Do they have to go attack another ship like the Gulf of Tonkin and then start the Vietnam War and then wait a few decades to come out and admit that they did it ourselves?
LBJ was a crook.
Every single war was set up. And you guys think that it wasn't.
August 8th of 1965.
If you guys think that a passport popped out of an explosion on 9/11, out of fire, floated down to show us the bad guy, that is psychopathic. That makes no sense. The government lies. This is no exception. This is a religion. Break free of it. The scriptures are actually true. It doesn't really matter if you like it or not. Religion sucks. Modern Christianity is trash. All the denominations make up their own doctrines. They all disagree with each other. They make up stories. They add to the scriptures. They don't take them literally true. They don't read the Hebrew. But the scriptures are literally true. It's the most historically accurate compilation that exists. Yeshua is the most historically accurate figure that exists. Now you want to say right now, oh, he thinks the earth's flat because he's a religious zealot. Actually, I found out the earth was flat before I found out the scriptures were true. There goes your dumb little excuse to try to run away again. The scriptures aren't alone. Every ancient text knew what the earth was. The scriptures aren't alone. So you can take that or leave it. It's a side note. I just know it's the truth, and that's why I do what I do. Because you're special. You were created. You don't have to take totalitarian orders from the government. They don't have to give you permission to breathe. That's not how this works. My friends died so that we didn't need permission to do anything that we're entitled to do for free. Isn't that what we just celebrated Monday? What happened to that? But we just threw it away for the last year. All hell Biden. All hell Biden. He said if we get genetically modified, we can take our masks off. It's time that we stand up as people for our freedoms and together. And at the least, you should stand up for my right to say all this. But the truth is, the government doesn't agree with you. They forcibly censor us, and they admitted that in Congress.
I always do.
Yeah, absolutely. My man knows what free speech is about. So whether you agree or disagree, we should all agree the government should be able to forcibly shut us down, right? Oh, this is dangerous misinformation because you might not be a tiny speck of dust that came from nothing. You might be special. Uh-oh. Someone might have made you. Oh my goodness. The earth might have been created. Oh, it's getting real now because all that depravity, now there's a linear code of ethics, huh? Now you're not your own God. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not the one that made the world. But it's objectively created because it is geocentric. So there's a creator, and he made you. You're very special. It doesn't matter if you want to accept it or not. I encourage you to accept it, right? Because then you can get right with the creator, and he'll help you prosper. What?
Can you please take a break?
Yeah, I'm about to. But you don't have to sit here.
Well, I can hold away from Los Angeles to enjoy this, not this.
All right, well, now you know the earth's flat.
Okay, perfect.
All right, perfect. So, yeah, I'll take a break because I don't want her to get mad that her spinning ball's not real or that the creator's real. But anyway, in conclusion, I'm going to finish what I'm saying. You were created and you're special, okay? If the earth's the center of everything, it had to be placed there. It doesn't move and the sky moves all around us, central to us. Everything moves around us, around Polaris, over the center of the earth. Forever, for thousands of years. That means it was put there. And you have domain over the earth as humans. That means you're the most special, powerful people or existence or species, as you people would call it. Okay? So you have domain on the earth. You're special. The earth is special. It was created for you. And we need to get our rights back. And the government doesn't get to tell us where we get to freely traverse. It's a basic right. We don't need to get approval of our freedoms. So I encourage anyone to test it out. I'm going to take a break because I have to charge the phone is why I'm actually taking a break. And then in a few minutes, I'm going to jump back on the mic. If anyone thinks they can win the $100 cash prize, I'll be back on the mic in a few minutes. You get $100 cash if you can answer 3 basic globe Earth questions correctly. You're all spiraling, dude.
I think it.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
In a world where people are spiraling because the Earth's not a ball. We actually went like how long? Like 50 minutes without someone spiraling, so it wasn't too bad. Look, this is where they start all kinds of wars. That's what keeps us free. Great job, dude. Thank you. Fire, bro. Thanks, man. How dare you tell me I'm special? Yeah, I know. What a joke. Nice one, Witsit. Thanks, bro. Representing, brother. Have to. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you, bro. Keep crushing. Yeah, yelling at the mic. Austin just mad, cooped up, yelling at the mic. Great job, Austin. Thanks. These NPCs. Yeah, they're NPCs. The probably genetically modified is real. That was Beast, bro. Thank you. Awesome as always, Austin. Thank you. Much love. Thanks to all the love. I'm going to have to charge the phone. I may just do a stream a little later like the same thing. But we have a group of people here. I kind of want to offer them the money. But I'm gonna get a water and chill for a few minutes. I'll just talk to you guys in the chat while I take a break.
You can put it in there and it'll hold it.
You can hold it on here while it just points at the White House. All right, let me grab the charger. Be careful.
I didn't do anything with that.
Oh, my other one holds it perfectly though.
Do you have it?
Just a sec, guys. I'll read the chat in a sec. I don't know what the Earth is or anything about it, but you're wrong. Came all the way from Los Angeles to stare at a building that we're not allowed to get close to that we paid for. All right, what's up, guys? They can't win the $100, but they can name the 100 genders. You heard that? That's pretty hilarious, bro. Just a sec, I'll read the chat. I'm trying to get my charger out.
Wait, this is the bag?
I really wish I could tell them all kinds of stuff. You know? Loki cannot. All right, we're charging, ladies and gentlemen. What's it, 2024? I get taken out, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be the best job. And on top of it, it'd be so cool.
It'd be a terrible job. All right, what's up, guys? Outstanding job. Thank you, Bob. Sorry. Tell me if the wind's loud. And hopefully you guys can hear me. And I'll do pandas. I'm chilling, bro. Biden is livid. That's pretty funny. You killed it with the things. No mask, no shoes, no nervous. I'm just saying though. Didn't get notified. Oh yeah, are we supposed to be surprised?
This is, maybe I can learn something. Myself, I've gone around.
You crushed it, bro. Thank you, man. How ignorant was that chick? Don't answer the question. I don't know if I can put that into words. Oh, we got super chats. Let me see if I can get them. Dang, I don't want to miss the super chats, guys. Just a sec. Is Alex coming out with you today? No, I had to work today. I like the way Critical Inception shows photos. I would like for you to just go do it yourself, however you want to do it. I have an iPad with pictures right here. Like, we walk like dozens of miles a day. You guys want me to carry like 300 pounds of stuff?
And me not have to go right.
You believe in the scriptures?
Yeah, but
It
where?
says you'll never be able to measure the earth.
Right, it didn't say measure. That's not what I'm asking about. So what I'm saying is, okay, where would it end that I wouldn't keep on going east to get to a destination, but then I'd have to come west because the end of the flat earth?
Well, no, like
That's the only thing I'm asking. I'm not.
Yeah, if you have a
I'm not
compass-
debating. I want answers.
check it. If you have a compass, it's going to point north. And so as you go east, it's going to constantly update relative to north. And you're going to keep following it, going east, like following it like this, right? Until you come back around the other way. If you go west, it'll point towards north. You're going west relative to north. It'll keep updating as it goes towards the magnetic center. And you'll come back around. It works the same way on the globe Earth and the flat Earth.
No, I wish I understood it. I mean,
Yeah, it's all good.
I mean, you guys have studied more diagrams. You guys have studied more of the information that you guys have pulled
Sure.
up. You know, because this whole time I hear a lot of young kids saying, you know, what they were indoctrinated by their parents, or a teacher, or a rabbi.
It's like I'm downloading YouTube Studio to look at the super chats. What's up, Critical Inception?
There's no possibility of other. I'm listening to kids, listening to the reactions, and then I'm hearing where in a group like 3 or 4.
I can't show them the app. It's on my phone. But that's live streaming.
So you know, it just shows that some of them had influence by someone that knew. You know, I mean, you guys aren't a tiny group.
No.
You're not a tiny group at all. And I like that you say Yeshua and Yahweh. So, Yeshua HaMashiach and Yahweh?
Yeah.
The son of Yahweh.
Yeah. Yeshua the Messiah, the son of Yahweh.
Yesabatane, Yeshua. No. Yeah?
Don't know what you said there.
Ah,
What'd you say?
he is the reason for the Sabbath.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, which is actually Saturdays.
You're right, Saturday actually, Friday from sundown, Saturday to sundown.
Yeah, that's what some say.
Yeah.
I personally go sunrise to sunset, but to each their own, because he called the day Yom, and he said that during the day, which is the light, he called the light. See, we call days 24 hours, but the scriptures call them just the day Yom.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Like the fact you keep it is good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep it.
All right, revenue.
I mean, this isn't work.
I can't even
This is
find
lust.
them, bro.
Yes, definitely.
You know, and I've read the Bible.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't find the super chats. If anyone thinks they can get to them and tell me, type what they said again, that'd be cool. But I can't find them. What's up, Karen B? Earth First, Space Later, Flatter Day Saints, Bob from Globebusters, bunch of legends in here. Dr. Law, Ted Summer,
It's the beginning of one.
Just Jack.
At the bar mitzvah.
Mire el teléfono arriba.
Prayers that they have.
Arwen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back on the mic in a second, but I just need to take a break. And also I need to charge the phone. We had someone spiraling. I need to drink some water. Flatter Day Saints is debating FTFE tomorrow. Nice, bro. Ladling cups of gravy out there, bro. Good stuff. Thank you, brother. How you doing, Ruach? What's up, Cammy? Also, when you get back in South Carolina, you and Chris need to stop by my house for dinner. I would love to, bro. That sounds awesome.
Revelations 2:9 and Revelations 3:9. Those are called.
Yeah, it keeps changing it. Oh. You need to. Okay, I see what you're saying.
If you go to the Old Testament, with Yahweh,
Top chat.
Judaism,
It keeps the super chats. Let's see. It still doesn't say any super chats, man.
these names like
Oh, but you can literally just click on super chat.
would have been burned.
Nah, it doesn't show anything, man. This is what a clown world. I'm sorry, guys. I love you guys. I'll read them like on the next stream or something. I just can't get to them on the mobile. Dr. Law's house is awesome. Dope. Maybe you could pop my back. It was amazing when he did that. I felt great for weeks. Reformed Mason, thanks. No problem, bro. What's up, Zach? What's it? It's FE family with capital FE from Flat Earth. Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's so crazy that people get like, so triggered about the fact we don't think the Earth defies physics and that they're special because the Creator loves them. Like, how dare you tell me I'm special? Good, great job, bro. Thanks, man. All right, let me grab this bottle of water. This is the brief intermission, guys. So. I gave the dude $20 just for playing. Don't say I never did nothing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Facts, great job, thanks. I can see Biden Biden's depends. What? The pins being delivered?
My mother was owning my father's Ethiopia.
Dr. Law, food and back adjustment. I'm telling you, man, it's amazing. I'm organic. Who else can say that? I'm organic, homie. people believe that that building or DC has anything to do with them are grossly misinformed and deceived. Yeah, it's all about like their Roman deities.
That you can afford something higher. It's okay.
The light has come into the world, but men hated the light for their deeds, were evil, lest they be exposed from the darkness. Dun dun dun.
It's okay. I mean, all billionaires do it. Okay.
Oh, I see this super chat.
So
To replenish what you gave away, great stream. Needed that today. Looking forward to cutting that lecture out of this vid. Awesome. Thank you very much for the support, bro, and the kind words. You the man. Or sorry. I'm sorry I called you that. I didn't read your name. It says Tiffany, so you the woman. But thank you very much. Much love. Thanks for the kind words. Yeah, I'm thinking about chopping these interactions up too. Like the Pentagon one where they try to kick us out. Just a short vid, you know, First Amendment audit at the Pentagon. Just check. In a whisper. I traveled from Los Angeles to be here. What a waste of money. Yeah, exactly. Well, now you know the Earth is flat. Oh yeah, that's what I said. Dang, late to the stream. No worries. I'm gonna get on the mic again in a second. Love triggers the demons. That's why they get mad. Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta throw out the furniture. Sometimes it's right. But sometimes it's decent furniture.
This is as close as we can get. You can't actually even walk up to the gate. Everything is gated off all around here. Ever since that thing that happened back in the day.
Over there, you say science. What is it?
I need more science flyers. Anyone got any? What up?
100%.
Here, I'll mod you critical inception, just as I tell everyone, don't like get carried away with mod powers.
Right. Also, you know, the Templars.
Austin the Crusher, Whitsitt.
We're talking the same language, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely.
I died from laughter when the cop tried to ask if your ID and you were like, nah.
And when he says
pretty funny, man.
Right here.
When he says about Egypt, also the Mayas.
How are you today? I'm good.
The Incas. Check them out.
What up, RJ?
Far apart too. And so.
All right, guys.
When you say
FV Viking needs a wrench. Where's he at?
Yeah, ancient society, they knew a whole lot more. And then,
All right, I'm riching you up, bro, but don't abuse your powers. You've been vouched for.
Well, they came and killed
I super chatted your message. Keep up the good fight. Thank you very much, Tony, for the supports. And sorry I can't see it, bro. If you want to type what you said or keep up the good fights what you said, thank you very much, bro, for the support.
And they were before the Arabs when he tried to force other religions.
Oh, Ted doesn't have a wrench.
Africans that were there.
Add mod. Oh, West Blaze Music doesn't have a wrench. Add mod. Yeah, dude. We're building up the squad. Don't abuse your powers like the psychopaths that live in that building. Streams are always on point. Thank you, bro. Yeah, West Blaze Music is dope. Go sub to West Blaze Music.
I don't know this.
Or you could be lame, I guess. It's certainly up to you. WESBLAZEMUZIK. West Blaze Music. My man's be crushing. So does Marlo. I don't know the name of his channel. Flat gang.
So it's not that, even though I have my own.
Appreciate it, fam. Yeah, of course, bro. Keep crushing, bro.
Right now, I'm like within 3 feet of you. So again, I have to, and that's all.
Yo, my voice was giving out.
I said it loudly instead of saying like that. We're talking brotherly.
I bet he's not even in that building, LOL. Apparently the helicopter came and got him.
Yeah.
So.
Love it, family. Love your sign.
Thank you.
A lot of chemtrails out there. Yeah, they don't look particularly natural. You know, they just admitted that they do that, though. That's a conspiracy theory anyway. Cloud seeding's declassified by the CIA, but that's just a conspiracy theory.
Cloud seeding?
Yeah. For weather modification purposes, they seed the clouds. Cloud seeding, they lay out certain chemicals to manipulate the weather patterns. Declassified. Thanks for coming through. You definitely helped energize this area. No problem, brother. I had to go see the Heart of Babylon. I should take you guys over here to see the creepy little statue with naked babies on it. Like, that's not weird. All right, I'm about to take you guys over there. You care to stay here? Yeah. Yeah, we're in the inn. Hey, they're not coincidentally scanning your wrist and forehead, bro. Guys, check this. This is so creepy. Right in front of the White House. See, believe it or not, flat Earth over like the course of an hour will cause the crowd to thin out. But there were people sitting down videoing, drinking, listening. Like I said, people were more thirsty for knowledge than you would think. If we would all just occasionally go do something like this, we'll glitch out the matrix. That's my opinion, at least. Not being confrontational, not bombarding people, you know, not beating on their chest to win a debate. If someone isn't ready to hear it, they're not ready to hear it. You don't need to scream at them. If you scream at them, it confirms their bias. That flat Earth is crazy, right? So we just need to be respectful to people. Let it full bars. Look at this. Look at how he's looking at him. And they're holding hands. Look, dude. They are literally holding hands. Dude, bunch of sodomites. But that's not weird. That's just art, you know? Nothing weird. Oh, what is that? Just a couple naked babies. Naked babies by some sodomites. Okay, with a gargoyle above them. Which seems to be maybe symbolic of Molech, child sacrifice, by the Congress in commemoration of the service rendered by General Lafayette and his compatriots during the struggle for the independence of the United States of America. Allegedly. Apparently the naked babies were helping free America. And so were the sodomites. I'm sorry, I just thought this was really funny. Typically it's Roman pagan idolatry. They have Neptune in front of the Library of Congress. This is modern Rome. Oh, here we go. She's just naked with a sword in her hand by a gargoyle. Not weird at all. This is probably symbolic of the women looking up to those that came down and their offspring. I'm just saying, though. What up, guys? Oh, I'm glad you asked. No, the Earth is not a spinning ball in a vacuum. That defies physics. The mic's way better. I'm thinking about playing my song through the mic just to trigger people. I wonder if I should play my song through the mic or not. Maybe I could just pick up the mic and start freestyling. What we're gonna do is one of the content ideas I have is when we start walking through these cities, grabbing my mic, strapping it to the backpack, and just spitting freestyles about the Earth and about the scriptures, about things we've been lied to about. Because people are less likely to get mad, you know? It's like someone's rapping. I can't really be that mad, you feel me? Instant spiral, I'm just saying though. Yeah, they'll probably spiral if I play the music. Whoa, the sun is busting. Look, the sun's moved in the sky. That's because I'm falling backwards. See, the sun's not actually moving in the sky. It just looks like that because I'm falling backwards 1,000 miles an hour. Duh. What are you, some type of flat earther? You don't blindly believe in NASA for your entire worldview? You're crazy, bro. You see that sun moving? It's not moving, it's sitting still. Conspiracy theorist. What are you, a psycho? I'm dizzy. I'm sorry, bro. You're about to get put back down. In a world TV. Mr. C, support truth. Thank you for the support. Much love, brother. I guess I could grab this, it'd be sturdy. But all Earth is in violation of all laws of thermodynamics and geometry and all the laws of light propagation and perspective. Yeah, although if you want to get super specific, propagation is the assumption of point A to point B travel and the speed of light is pseudoscience, but I feel what you're saying.
For intents and purposes, it propagates at least perceivably, and it has something called an attenuation rate, absorption of light. That's why we can't see the sun forever. And of course, there's a perspective limit. No way, just literal laws of existence that everyone knows is real. Alien backwards is nil A, yeah. Dude, they'd be a lion. Duh. Dude, the officers were listening. The officers were listening because they have to stand guard. Pretty funny, I'll show you guys. There's an officer over there. And there's an officer over there. Which they've actually switched out, that they have shifts, I guess. Hopefully this guy up here acting like he's ready to shoot something got to hear about the Earth. Biggest fallacy is people marching around yelling, "We pay for your salary and you work for us." They are playing right into the deception. Well, they forcibly take our money, so the least we can do is assert our right for them to work for us. I mean, the fact is you don't need a government, but mask or child abuse. I'm just saying though. See, I can't really do much of that on the mic. I wish I could. I mean, I could go on Facebook here in a second. And that's the only way I can really break all that down. Because, you know, YouTube will forcibly censor me if I tell people about the current PSYOP that shut the world down for the last year. You're not free. How dare you question mainstream and the government? You have the First Amendment unless it involves you actually questioning the government. All right, I'm about to get back on the mic, guys. I wandered the underground Washington, D.C. It's supposedly huge. This building is pretty much underwhelming, if I'm going to be real with you. Keep it flat, Austin. Yeah, of course. Would you rather debate Biden or Trump on flat Earth? I'll debate them both at the same time after chugging Jameson. Except I don't chug Jameson anymore. I stopped getting drunk. Which I stopped getting drunk like a while ago. Why would we debate idiot puppets? Just because it'd be hilarious. Mainstream of piss, yeah. Can't even say his name, but I get you. Hey, wait, can anyone confirm or deny? I read something about supposedly like there's a cyber attack where all of the major plants that produce beef were attacked or something like that. Can anyone verify if that's a true supposed mainstream story or not? Because I find it to be hysterical if it is. Because I predicted. Confirmed? Wow. Did I not tell you guys that the fake food shortage was coming next and that this was just trial runs of each of the PSYOPs? Didn't I tell you guys that? Like 2.5 weeks ago I said, well, whenever the gas thing was. Right after I was like, yeah, of course there was not actually a cyber attack on the gas, and they're just trying to see if they told everyone, look, we're gonna run out of gas, how much they'll go buy all the gas? Everyone's gonna go buy all the beef. These are just psychological operations so that they can test how sturdy we are within our own infrastructure. I'm assuming now, since I predicted the food would be next, accurately, I guess I'll make the next prediction. It will be power outage shortages, or power shortages, power outage scares. There will be random power outages scattered throughout the electrical grid. That's just a prediction, you know, but these are the major ways they have us controlled via the gas supply, the food supply, electricity, and so that they are just pulling us out, pulling the rug out from underneath our rug, but temporarily as a psychological operation. This entire year or so has been nothing more than deep intel military ops and psychological operations to run logistics on the people. It's very obvious. Water. That's actually, you're right. Water will probably come after the food. If I had to, I'm taking my prediction back. I'm saying that, I don't know, yeah, maybe like people's water, something happens to the water and they can't even get it to come out in their house or anything. Yeah, like maybe people will run out of water and then everyone will go buy up the water bottles. They told everyone they were gonna run out of toilet paper and they went and bought all the toilet paper, bro. Like, they can literally do whatever they want.
Good brother.
But they may do the electricity, I don't know. The Ice Age Farmer has great info on worldwide food shortages. Word up. I heard that he's kind of like freaking out a lot though. I'm not even saying these are real shortages. I'm saying these are psychological operations. There's plenty of food, there's plenty of water, there's plenty of gas. They just knew if they told people on the news that it was gonna run out, everyone would go buy all of it. Well, of course it ran out. You psychos? Well, why are you filling trash cans with gasoline? If everyone did what they did every day, we'd have plenty of gas. Believe it or not, gas stations don't have infinite supply of gas. They eventually run out when you buy all of it. And that's their new go-to, cyber attack. They cyber attacked physical valves on a pipeline. That seems legit. So they're gonna tell you now, apparently, that they ran out of beef. Everyone will go buy all the beef in the stores. This is almost just hilarious at this point. Remove restrictions, but introduce energy infrastructure strategy. This is all just conditioning, in my opinion. Because like, look, when they really pull this stuff where there's really a food shortage, they want to see how people are going to react. They need to know like how ready people are to fall for it, how compliant they will be, right? How successful is the propagation of the story via mainstream media still, since people aren't believing in it too much, but it's still working because social media has taken over. These are all just psychological operations to prepare you to see how you react, to run logistics, to see which sectors that they need to work on more, right? To make you more dependent upon, etc. These are drills, exactly. These are military drills. Okay, glad we got that covered. Oh, there's a whole group of children and they're about to get smacked. That's right, for sure, dude. Just sizing it up and exposing it. Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Are y'all like on tour or something? I don't see a tour guide. It's going down. We're going back to the mic. In a world. Hopefully you guys can see me because Chris is busy right now, so I'll just try to stand over there. But it's really cool to have Washington, D.C. in the background, though. Should I just go over here and y'all look this way, or should I get him to have the White House in the background? What do you think? 1 for White House in the background, 2 for this way. Flat smacking in the White House? Yeah, bro, that's what we do, bro. 1. Oh man, this looks like an evenly distributed vote. I'm counting them. 1's up by 1. Two for the crowd. All right, what we'll do is we'll go 2 for a second. When Chris finishes this conversation over there, we'll go 1. How about that? Everyone wins. You guys want to get your pictures? Correct. I'm about to get on the mic. People are going to get triggered. Oh, we're back. Yeah, dude. How about you guys please don't call me during a live stream? That would be great. That'd be great. Let's see if I can go on Do Not Disturb. Jeez Louise. Do not disturb, son. Or not what? Here we go, yo. Yeah, I didn't have it turned on. I think it's working. I think it's working. In a world, in a world, in a world.
Yeah. 4. Okay.
I have no idea what's going on. Right on, Witsit, good work, brother. Thanks, man. They all learn the scientific method. Oh, you want me to teach them the scientific method? Okay. I'll teach them the scientific method. What is going on? Technical difficulties.
in a world.
All right, we're back live. I hope this thing keeps charging. What's going on? Okay, we're live. There's a gang of Globers behind you? Yeah, everyday people are always Globers, bro.
In a world. All right, let's talk about it. Offering $100 cash to anyone that can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth model. You get them all 3 right, you get $100 cash, no strings attached. If you get them wrong, you don't have to give me money. I don't see what the big harm could be here. $100 cash. In fact, I'll even tell you what the first question is so you can know the answer before you come up here. How many times does the globe Earth spin every 24 hours? Everyone should know that answer. That's one of the 3 questions. You get 2 more right, you win $100 cash. Let me get the money out. We owe this.
I know. I know what they might not. Can I answer? You have no takers?
Well, you are still in earshot, so I'll flat smack you anyway. Alright, so the Earth is not a magic spinning cartoon ball in a vacuum. This defies numerous laws, one of them being the second law of thermodynamics, which says entropy will increase. Seeking spontaneous equilibrium is what systems do. Heat goes to cold, high pressure goes to low pressure. If I make a cup of coffee, it will cool down over time because it migrates to the colder climate or atmosphere around it. Quote-unquote atmosphere. Gases have no intrinsic shape, but I digress. So if high pressure always migrates to low pressure, according to the second law of thermodynamics, which is a natural law, it's not an opinion, it's not subjective, it's not debatable, it's not theoretical, it's a natural law. That means it happens always, all the time. Okay, so the second law necessitates pressure will fill the available space. How could you have a pressurized system adjacent to a near-perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr, as they claim space is? We have 14.7 psi, the surface level of the Earth. That's how you're alive, by the way. You breathe oxygen. That's gas pressure. How could you have gas pressure adjacent to a vacuum? It literally violates the second law of thermodynamics. No one can answer this question. Not even the PhDs that we're supposed to look up to. Not the astrophysics professors. I debate them all the time. So if anyone thinks they can answer this question, feel free to come up and have a conversation. If anyone thinks they can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth model, you win $100 cash. That doesn't mean you have to debate me. That just means you have to know your own model. Because apparently I'm crazy for not believing in it, but no one here all day for 3 days has even known 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. And I already said with the first question, even Google it if you want to. How many times does the globe Earth spin every 24 hours? Pretty easy question there. And if anyone else gets that right, they can answer the next 2 questions. I've actually said all the answers out here, though, so if someone's been out here the whole time, I don't know if I can let you play. But I love you anyway. So, no one's gonna, yeah, everyone should know the answer to that one, bro. No one is gonna answer these questions, though. That should make you think. I can actually spit off every single metric of the globe Earth off the top of my head. You can pull your phone out and Google it and fact check me every single time. You will find that it's exactly right. So why is it that it's the flat earthers that are supposedly crazy and stupid and archaic, that know all about the globe Earth, that we're supposedly dumb for not believing in? Something's not adding up. So I'm going to give you guys a history lesson as to how we supposedly proved the Earth was a ball. I know a lot of people don't know, so I'm going to teach you. So supposedly we went to the moon in 1969. I know you guys know that. But we can't go back, according to NASA. See, a world-renowned astronaut by the name of Don Pettit, he says, and I quote, "I would go back to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is, we destroyed that technology, and it's a difficult process to build it back." So 50 years later, they still can't go to the moon, but they supposedly went in 1969. Actually, a study shows that 1 in 3 Americans didn't believe it at the time. Well, I'm certainly not going to believe your black and white stupid movie where people defy physics falling down and bouncing back up on harnesses and the flag moves around in the wind. That's not supposed to be there on the moon. That's stupid. If they could go to space, they'd keep going.
Desert in New Mexico.
So NASA, yep. So NASA actually gets $60 million a day. $60 million every single day. That's a lot of money. And they still can't go to the moon. But they supposedly did it in 1969. NASA was founded in the 50s within 1 year of the Antarctic Treaty being signed. The Antarctic Treaty is where every major world superpower has agreed that it's illegal to explore past the 60th south latitude, or what you would call Antarctica. It's literally illegal to explore past the 60th south latitude. China, Russia, the United States, they all agree on this. I thought they were enemies. Guess they put their differences aside to make sure you couldn't figure out what the Earth is, huh? Because if the Earth's a ball, you could circumnavigate it north to south, coming over Antarctica, popping back up on the other side would prove it's a sphere. It's illegal to do that. It's never been done. It will never be done. Okay? 70% of the Earth is water, at least according to them. We don't know exactly what the entire Earth is. They won't let us see what it is. We just know it's not a curving, spinning ball with a radius of 3959. So the Earth is flat because 70% of it's water, at least according to them. There's something called fluid statics. Okay, so fluid statics necessitates that water always finds its level. Water will always conform to its container and find its level. Pour some water in a glass, it's level. Tilt the glass to the side, it stays level. It always finds its level. This is why we put fluid in levels to build things, because water always finds its level. How could 70% of a ball Earth be level and flat? Makes no sense. So when you go out to the ocean and you look at the horizon, guess what it is? It's flat. It's horizontal. That's where the word horizon comes from. That's why it's called a horizon. It's horizontal. Of course, this is an apparent location. It fluctuates constantly throughout the day based on atmospheric conditions and the observer height. Now, if the Earth was a ball, the horizon would be a physical Earth curve sphere edge. It's called a tangent point. Okay, so if the Earth is actually what they said it is, we should see the curvature of the Earth at 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Now, I know a lot of people don't like math and they just shut down right then. It's pretty simple. The square root of 1 is 1. Okay, well, what's 1 times 1.225? It's 1.225. So 1 foot off the surface of the Earth, you should see the curvature of the Earth at 1.225 miles away. In fact, no more than that. It can be less than that. It cannot be more than that. That's because this is the maximum extension of the radius value of 3959, which comes from the circumference value of 24901. Those are 2 questions I typically ask, so I'll take them off the list. The circumference value of the Earth is 24,901 miles. The radius value is 3,959 miles. Based on geometry, okay, this is called a geometric horizon. The Earth has to curve at a certain rate. 8 inches per mile squared up to 1,000 miles. You should see the curvature of the Earth at 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. So 1 foot off the surface of the Earth, we should see the curvature at 1.225 miles. We have an observation off the coast of California. 1 foot off the surface of the Earth. And instead of seeing the curvature of the Earth at 1.225 miles, we see a horizon over 10 miles away from 1 foot off the ground. This would require the radius of a ball be 264,000 miles. Over 250,000 miles. They claim it's under 4,000. We have an observation that would require it be over 250,000 miles. Now, I'm crazy, but none of you guys have ever even tested the Earth. All you have to do is go out and make long-distance observations. I'm not asking you to blindly believe me. I'm asking you to stop blindly believing the government. Stop blindly believing that the cartoons in your textbooks that are publicly funded is true. I'm asking you to go test the surface of the Earth yourself. Make long-distance observations. Whenever I get off the mic, I have an iPad over here with many pictures. I'll show you the observations if you'd like to see them. You can also get on my YouTube. Whitsitt gets it on YouTube. Super censored though. Doesn't matter. So if the Earth is actually curving, why do we not see it curving anywhere? Let me put it in layman terms for everyone. If you walk hill, whoa, if you walk up to a hill or a mound, you can't see through the hill to the other side because it's physically blocking your view. That's what the Earth has to do if it's a ball. That obstruction, that physical, tangible, literal obstruction, is nowhere to be found. And it can't just be wherever you want to say it is. It has to be at a certain distance based on the radius value. We have falsified the radius. We have an observation in France which, based on the radius value, should be obstructed by over by 1 mile, an entire mile of Earth curvature. From over 200 miles away, we can see the mountains. Not only are they not obstructed by over a mile of Earth curve, you can see the entire mountain from top to bottom, from over 200 miles away. This is a literal impossibility on a globe Earth. So we falsified the radius. Now you may say, okay, whatever, the radius is wrong. There's still a ball, though. Well, the problem with that is, if the radius value is wrong, the entire model is wrong. See, we know we have certain distances on the Earth. Those are factored into the radius. So we use the radius to determine everything about the model. This includes distances on Earth, day and night cycle, gravity, which is fake. It actually uses the radius value. The orbit of the supposed planets in the solar system uses the radius value. For you to be able to go to space, you need what's called radius of orbit, which means you need the radius of the Earth, so you can know how high and how fast you need to go to obtain escape velocity. Without the radius value, the entire model falls apart. Well, we falsify the radius value. That's why in Congress they admit they censor flat Earth. All you will ever see if you Google it is Flat Earth Society. Well, guess what? Not one real flat earther believes that nonsense. Not one. Isn't that convenient that they said that they censor it, but they prop up a misinformation campaign that says that we're a disk floating around in space in the solar system shooting up 9.8 meters a second square? Well, the truth is the Earth doesn't move. It's the center of everything. It's the bottom. The sky moves over top of us. So basically, all I'm asking you to do is to go test it and trust your senses and everything you've ever observed throughout your entire life. Every observation ever made throughout the history of mankind. See, the sky resets for all recordable history for thousands of years. The Egyptians built megalithic structures that line up with the same stars they line up with today. They reset every single year around Polaris, right over the center of the Earth. How does that work on a ball? We're supposedly spinning 1,040 miles per hour east. So whenever you see the sun move away from you in the sky, and it looks like it eventually sets, what the globe Earth says is, that sun's not moving, it's actually sitting still. You're just falling backwards 1,000 miles an hour, and it looks like that. So when you don't feel like you're moving, you're actually moving. And whenever the sky looks like it's moving, it's actually still. And whenever the Earth looks like it's flat, it's actually curving. And when the horizon looks horizontal, it's actually not, it's a curved surface. So you have to believe everything opposite of what you ever have observed. What this means is the globe Earth is literally nonsense. It's nonsensical. It's antithetical to senses and observation. When it's all good, we can go to scientific evidence. So what we'll do is we'll define science. I know most people out here probably don't even know what it is. No fault of your own, to be honest. It's not a shot. The public education system is trash. So what science actually is you have a dependent variable. Okay, that's in a naturally occurring observable phenomena, i.e. your effect. You then propose a hypothesis. This is a cause and effect relationship test. And the way that you test this is you test the independent variable by manipulating and varying it, substantiating that it's the cause of the effect. This is called science. Science isn't theoretical. It's not the quote-unquote pursuit of knowledge. No, it's an actual methodology we use to prove things. It's not your opinion. It's not math. It's not fairy tales. It's science. It's empirical. It's actual facts. So let's test the globe Earth. Let's see how it stands up to the parameters of the scientific method. The globe Earth claims that water is bending convexly around the exterior of a spinning spherical object in a vacuum. Okay, well, we have something called fluid statics. Fluid statics necessitates water always finds its level. Every time you manipulate water ever as your IV, it finds its level, always. It always conforms to its container and finds its level. So all empirical scientific evidence based on fluid statics shows you that water always finds its level. This is why we put fluid in levels, because they always find their level. That's how we build things. So where's the empirical evidence that water can bend around the outside of a spinning spherical object? There's actually $1 million reward offered for anybody that can demonstrate water bending around the outside of a spinning sphere and adhering to the outside of it. $1 million. And it's been up for over 2 years and no one can do it. People have tried. They can't. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so the globe Earth's claims about water doesn't uphold to the scientific method. Let's see what else we got here.
It's very tiny.
They claim that the Earth
You go outside.
has a pressurized system called the atmosphere that we breathe and utilize to actually stay alive. And it's sitting next to a vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr. Well, let's see if we can empirically validate this. Every single piece of evidence we've ever had regarding pressure follows the second law of thermodynamics. This is a natural law. Again, natural laws happen all the time, always. We just recorded them. They're not theories, they're just objective. Well, the second law of thermodynamics necessitates that entropy will always increase. A system will always find its equilibrium. That's why when I open a soda and it goes, shh, it's because it's equalizing to the lower pressure around the soda. See, since it was sealed and contained, it built up a higher pressure to keep it fresh and carbonated. When you opened it up, it equalized to the lower pressure around it instantly, spontaneously. This is called the second law of thermodynamics. Pressure always fills the available space. High pressure always migrates to low pressure. How could you have a pressurized system sitting next to a near perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr? You could not. Pressure would fill the available space. The only way we can have the pressure that we breathe here on Earth is if it is contained. Now, some of you may know the pseudoscience enough to say that you're just supposed to blindly say gravity right now. Most of you don't, but we'll talk about it. A lot of people think that they're quote-unquote atheist, but they don't realize that gravity is effectively their God. This is because gravity has created every planet that exists, coalescing it into perfect spheres over the course of billions of years. Gravity used to be mass attracting mass. That's called Newtonian Physics, superseded in 1915 by the Theory of Relativity. Now it is Einsteinian Physics. It says gravity is the effect of the bending and the warping of space and time. Okay, so we're going to assume gravity's real. I'm going to give it to you guys times 1,000,000. It's not scientific. There's no scientific evidence for it at all. Gravity's never been independently manipulated or varied, ever adhered to the scientific method. It's pseudoscience. That falsely claims to be science. But we're going to assume gravity's real, and we'll see if we can apply this to the gas pressure. So whenever I have a container of gas, a pressurized system, at the surface level, and I let it out, it immediately disperses omnidirectional in all directions, omnidirectional. And it seeks equilibrium. All directions includes up. Well, up is the opposite of down. Profound, I know. Well, gravity supposedly has a singular vector of down relative to the center of mass. Okay, so if gravity is pulling gas down, not letting it fill the available space of this magic space vacuum, then why is it that where it's the strongest, at the surface, it doesn't stop gas from going up? It could never stop gas from going up hundreds of miles above it, where it's way weaker. Gas will always fill the available space. It's called the second law of thermodynamics. Space is fake. Outer space is fake. Grow up. Star Wars isn't real. That's a movie. You can't go to space. NASA admits they only show you cartoons. A direct quote, because what most people do is they'll Google pictures of the Earth, and they'll come up to me like, what is this? Well, NASA admits they're just cartoons. So it looks like you don't even know what they are. This is a direct quote from NASA.gov. You can Google Robert Simmons, NASA.gov, Blue Marble, the most infamous picture of Earth from space supposedly ever. It was the default wallpaper on iPhones when they first came out. What the quote says is, we take high altitude images, we stitch them together on a flat map surface, we wrap it around a ball, we bring an artist in, the artist does an artist rendition to match what the observer expects it to look like. In fact, Robert Simmons is quoted as saying, of course it's photoshopped. It has to be. So no, they didn't fly out in space, turn around and take a picture of the Earth. They admit that they went up above the Earth, took small little portions of pictures, stitched it together on a flat Earth, wrapped it around a ball, assuming it's a ball, and then brought an artist in to paint it. So in the 21st century, we still only have cartoons. I thought we went to the moon in 69, bro. What's going on? So apparently we went to the moon in 69, 50 years ago, can't go back. They get $60 million a day. NASA was founded in the 50s, 1 year after the Antarctic Treaty was signed, which is where they told you can't freely traverse the Earth past the 60th south latitude, which would prove it's a ball or not.
And guess what we did when we founded NASA? We did something called Operation Paperclip. This is where we brought Nazis over. I thought that we didn't like Nazis in America. I thought Nazis were crazy psychopaths that killed tons of people. I thought they were totalitarian and the opposite of America. Then how come we brought them over here to work for us as soon as we founded NASA, right after they slaughtered millions of people? What's going on? Something's not adding up. No, we didn't hang them for their war crimes against humanity. We didn't arrest them for treason. We propped them up and revered them as scientific geniuses. Actually, we didn't just take any random Nazi either. What people will say is, it was just the scientists. No, actually, we took an SS officer of the Nazi regime by the name of Wernher von Braun. In Operation Paperclip, we put him in charge of all space exploration. Wernher von Braun, an SS officer of the Nazis. Now, what Wernher von Braun did in his spare time when he wasn't trolling Americans with fairy tale stories of rockets and space vacuums, he wrote science fiction books. Well, his science fiction book that he wrote in the 1950s, the main character's name is Elon. And guess what Elon does in this book? He founds the first civilization ever on Mars. What a coincidence. In 2021, we have someone named Elon Musk that's supposedly going to take us to Mars. That's probably just a coincidence. On this guy's tombstone, once he died, he has Psalms 19:1. Psalms 19:1 says, the firmament of the earth shows the Creator's handiwork. The firmament in Hebrew is rakia. It means something strong as bronze that was beaten out. A firmament over top of the earth that keeps the gas pressure here. The scriptures say it separates the heavenly waters from the earthly waters. So why is this SS officer that brought over here for space exploration supposed to go to space leaving a verse on his tombstone that says you can't go to space because there's a firmament? So he let the secret out on his deathbed, but he knows that most people aren't even bright enough to read the freaking verse, much less apply it. So should we blindly believe Nazis? If the only evidence that we ever went to space is in 1969 and we can't go back, and it was actually spearheaded by Nazis, why would we depend our entire worldview on this? Of course, they came with rocket propulsion technology. Whenever they actually have declassified at this point electromagnetic propulsion, magnetic levitation, what you would call UFOs, as early as the 30s in Germany. Yet they brought us rockets. Rocket propulsion is archaic, and yet we still use it supposedly in the 21st century. The thing about rockets is really funny. What goes up must come down. Every rocket ever shot has what's called a parabolic trajectory. I've actually documented 2 this year by SpaceX. They always, at a low elevation, flip over and start going down. What they say is, oh, well, it just looks like that, and it's actually going to start free falling around a ball in space. No, or maybe you shot a rocket up over the water where we can't go verify where it goes, and it went down, because that's what happens. It's called physics. So no, you can't go to space. It defies the second law of thermodynamics. No, you can't have 70% of a ball be level water. That defies fluid statics. And if the Earth is in fact a ball with a radius of 3,959 miles, it has to curve at a certain rate. Well, you can't have a ball that's flat all over. If the surface of the Earth isn't curving anywhere, what is it? Take all the time you need. If the surface of the Earth isn't curving anywhere, what is it? I've been testing it. We've been testing it all over the Earth. This is why in Congress they admitted they censor flat Earth forcibly. They call it dangerous misinformation. Wow, it's so dangerous. These crazy people think the Earth's flat. How dangerous? You know what's dangerous is blindly believing the government when they tell you to be scared of air for a year. See, me telling you that the Earth is not what they told you, and you can actually trust your senses, and whenever you feel like you're not moving, you don't have to blindly believe you're actually spinning, falling backwards 1,000 miles per hour, watching a sunset. When you see the horizon's horizontal, which is what the word means, you're actually seeing that it's horizontal. All I'm telling you is you can trust your eyes, you can trust your senses. All observations are true. You don't need to blindly believe the government, blindly believe quote-unquote scientists to tell you everything's the opposite of what you experience. The only way you're going to feel the Earth spinning is if you're hammered. And what do they do when you're hammered? So you lay down, you start getting the spins. What do they tell you to do? They tell you to put your feet on the ground so you'll stop spinning. You know why? Because the Earth's not moving, bro. I know that's very profound, huh? So when you don't feel the Earth moving, it's because it's not moving. When you see the sun move in the sky away from you, it's because the sun's moving away from you in the sky. It's not because it's sitting still, but you're actually falling backwards 1,000 miles an hour, and it just looks like that. You know what else they say? It just looks like the sun and the moon are the same side. Perfect eclipse. That's actually just an optical effect. The sun is 400 times bigger than the moon. It's just a coincidence that it's exactly 400 times further away also. So they look like they're the same size. You want to know what the other option is? Same size. Yeah, this is getting really profound on you guys, huh? All empirical evidence doesn't lie to you. The globe Earth is literally nonsense. It's antithetical to all census, all empirical evidence, all scientific evidence, all observations, all measurements. Guess what? There's dozens and dozens of declassified military documents that say the Earth is flat. I wonder why the military says the Earth's flat. When they have to go get the bad guys, guess what they do? They assume the Earth is flat. So when people's literal lives are at stake, they assume a flat, non-rotating surface. Whenever they try to acquire a target, guess what they do for target acquirement? They map out a flat map projection centralized to them. Guess what they do whenever they fly military planes? They assume the Earth's a flat, non-rotating surface. This is all declassified. There's hundreds and hundreds of military technological patents that tell you they have to assume the Earth is not spinning, and it's not rotating, and it's not revolving, and it's not curving. So if I'm going to shoot interballistic missiles through different continents, and I'm on a ball, I would probably have to account for the fact that the Earth's a ball, wouldn't I? Because the convexity of terra firma, the drop of the Earth underneath you, would actually change where the rocket goes. But you don't have to do that. You assume a flat, non-rotating surface. People say, oh, how does GPS work? Well, GPS, the use case of GPS, long predates people claiming the Earth was a ball. We've been doing that for years. 99% of all transmission use towers alone. Towers and underground cable and undersea wires. 99% of all transmissions. So when stupid people say, look at the GPS, this uses satellites, they say it doesn't. And so if anyone thinks I'm crazy and thinks that I'll be two options, I'm giving $100 cash to anybody that can answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. I'll even tell you what the first question is. How many times does the globe Earth spin every 24 hours? Probably the easiest question I could think of. If you can get that right, and then you get the second 2 right, you get $100. If you get it wrong, it's not like you owe me money. But I will tell you, go ahead and tell you, no one ever gets the money. It's because the general public doesn't know anything about the globe Earth. They just assume it's a globe and assume I'm crazy for not believing it. Well, guess what? I know every single metric of the globe Earth off the top of my head. And you know what I did with that information? I went and tested it. And I'm not alone. There are tens of millions of us. But we're censored. In Congress, they said it's dangerous misinformation. We must censor flat Earth. Isn't that interesting? I thought that we had something called the First Amendment. I'm actually going to walk over here and read the First Amendment if the mic will stay connected. In a world. All right, First Amendment. Nope, too far away. Anyway, the First Amendment protects you. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging of freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a. So the First Amendment says I can say what I want to when I want to. That's why I'm out here. So I guess you can say what you want to when you want to unless it's not consistent with the narrative of the government. Well, I don't remember that little stipulation being in the First Amendment. So why is it that apparently it's cool for in Congress them to admit they forcibly censored the flat Earth? Isn't that crazy? Interesting. It's so archaic and so stupid, it has no evidence, and you would fall off of it, then why do they have to actually censor it? And by the way, no flat earther thinks you fall off of it. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. In order to have water, you have to have it contained. There was someone that circumnavigated the earth and attempted to do so by the name of Captain Cook. He actually went as far as 60,000 miles, and all he saw the whole time going around the outside of the earth was an ice wall. That's why they don't let you go there. There's an ice wall that contains the water, and it's literally provable. Well, let me guess, since you can't go there and verify it, you know that's not true. You should probably blindly believe Russia and China and America all working together, agreeing via the Antarctic Treaty, saying you're not allowed to go there. That seems legit. So you just blindly believe the government. And frankly, this is what I think people are that do that. They're zealots. They're religious zealots. The government is your religion. You may think you're atheist, but you worship the government. You may think you're atheist, but you worship gravity. You blindly believe the Earth's a spinning ball in a vacuum that defies physics. You have no evidence for it.
You have to blindly believe your priests, which people call scientists, professors. But they're pseudoscientists. They make up theoretical conceptual abstractions that have no proof and still don't work, not even mathematically. The theory of relativity is the current rhetoric for gravity. When you apply the theory of relativity to the universe, guess what it does? It's off by 95%. Oh, I thought I was the crazy conspiracy theorist. You think that a universe is real you can't even mathematically explain yet? You think the theory of relativity is real and it's off by 95%? It literally can't be real. It's off by 95%. Not it's 95% right, it's off by 95%. This is called dark matter and dark energy. These are undefined terms. Dark meaning we don't know, matter meaning we assume it's material. 95% of the supposed universe is unidentified. It's a mathematical discrepancy. It's just a number. It's a mathematical band-aid. When they tried to predict the universe using the theory of relativity, they were off by 95%. They had a huge mathematical discrepancy, so they just made up a term and stamped a band-aid on it. This is 2021. This is the best you guys still have to this day. This is the top tier of your supposed science. It's a joke. There's no evidence for it. So you might now want to ask yourself, what did it even matter? This is what the cog-dis response is. So I use this analogy a lot. I won't get too specific with the analogy, but say that you have a girlfriend. I know for a lot of Globers it's hard to fathom the idea of this, but say that you have a girlfriend, and I walk up to you with my iPhone and I say, bro, I got some bad news. Your girl's cheating on you, bro. I got a video of it. Are you going to refuse to look at the evidence because you need me to tell you why she lied to you first? Nah, that can't be her. I'm not going to look at the evidence because she would never lie. Why would they lie? She would never do that to me. Or are you going to look at the evidence and figure out why she lied to you, bro? You're going to look at the evidence. So how about you look at the evidence about the flat earth instead of trying to say it wouldn't even matter, why would they lie? But I'll tell you why they would lie. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave you hanging. So they get $60 million a day. Every day. But the government would never lie for money, so we'll throw that one out. The government would never lie to make money, so we'll just toss that aside. So they tell you that you're a tiny speck of dust in an ever-expanding universe. It's called heliocentric. You go around the sun, right? Everything came from nothing. Lightning struck primordial soup. Rocks turned into fish that grew feet, jumped about the water, then turned into rodents and monkeys, and then turned into you. Oh, ape, sorry. Let me get the pseudoscience right. If the Earth is geocentric, which it provably is, I've tested it for 5 years, that means it's stationary in the center of everything. Well, if the Earth is the center of everything, how to get there? It had to be put there, literally. It doesn't move, but it's the center of everything that exists. That means it was put there. Oh, why would they ever lie? I don't know, because if you were created, you have a lot more power than having to blindly believe the government and being scared of the air for a year. You don't take orders from the government. You don't answer to the government. That's not even a person. It's a superficial corporation. It's a blind entity. It doesn't exist. You answer to the Creator if the earth was created. Now, how you express that, that's on you. I, of course, happen to know the scriptures are literally true, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself. So there's one of the reasons they would lie. Of course, you're not, again, allowed to travel past the 60th south latitude. Well, would the government ever lie to hide land and resources? No. The government would never hide land and resources. So there's 3 basic reasons they would lie to you, and there's many more, right? Because if you can't trust any of your senses, there's a psychological effect that happens where you cannot determine accurate information from misinformation. This is why when they get on the news and they tell you one story, and then the next day they tell you the opposite story, and then a week later they tell you the same story again, you'll flip-flop every single time. Because you can't tell the difference between truth and fiction anymore. Because when you feel the earth isn't moving, you have to believe it's actually spinning 1,000 miles an hour. When you see the earth is flat, you actually have to believe it's curving. When you see that the sky is moving, you actually have to believe it's still. It's because you're spinning. When you see the sun set and move away from you in the distance and then set, nah, it's still. You're falling backwards 1,000 miles an hour. When you see a waterfall, it's actually tilted backwards going upside down. Everything that you believe has to be the opposite of what you observe. This has psychological ramifications. There's 4 reasons they would lie. I could go all day. Why wouldn't they lie? Knowledge is power. If you're the only one with the knowledge, it's much more powerful. Go ask the Freemasons what the earth is. The ones that are actually in the know, not the low ones that didn't even go to the library. You get access to the library, you got to go read yourself. They make you pass the test yourself. This entire city was founded by them, by the way, in case you were wondering. How about you go read Albert Pike, the only Confederate soldier with a statue outside in the city? Go read his literature. He says the earth is flat. He said the earth doesn't spin. Huh. Isn't that interesting? The most powerful people in the world know what the earth is. But yet they told you that it was a spinning ball in a vacuum. So
So instead of asking why would they lie, how about you figure out if they lied or not, and then go from there. But what you want to do is say it doesn't matter, it's not important, I got to post a pic for the gram, I got to watch Netflix. What is Drake's new album though? It's ridiculous. You should get your priorities right. If the governments of the world are in a concerted effort to lie to you about the nature of where you live, that is a big deal, objectively. They don't let you explore it, bruh. That's called a right that you have. You don't get it from the government. Let me give you another history lesson. See, the Constitution is not rights given to us by the government. It's an articulation of the rights we have from the Creator. If you read the theory, or if you actually read the Declaration of Independence, it tells you that we get the rights from the Creator. The Constitution is just an articulation of these rights. We don't get our rights from the government. They just have to adhere to our articulation of them. You don't answer to the government. The government doesn't get to tell you if you can freely travel. The government doesn't get to tell you if you can breathe oxygen. The government doesn't get to tell you that they're going to steal your money and give you taxation without representation and fund wars all over the world. The government doesn't get to do that. But you know why they do that? Because we have let them do it. And we're still walking around scared of the air a year later after 2 weeks. It's just going to be 2 weeks. What happened to 2 weeks? I guess they meant a little over a year. I guess that'll turn to a decade. So the only evidence that there supposedly is of the Earth being a ball spinning in space is that NASA went there in 1969, but can't go back 50 years later. I guess we need some more Nazis to help us go. Because Operation Paperclip says we brought Nazis over here. It's declassified. So if we brought Nazis over here and they're the only ones that can get us to space, maybe that's why we haven't gone back. And let me actually quote an astronaut as to why we haven't gone back. Don Pettit, one of the world's most renowned astronauts ever, he says, of course I'd want to go back to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is that we destroyed that technology, and it's a difficult process to build it back. Why would you destroy the technology of the biggest leap of technology in mankind's history? The greatest feat ever. We went and landed on the moon, bruh. But we can't go back for 50 years and they destroyed the technology. And don't worry, they accidentally destroyed and lost all the telemetry data, or i.e. the evidence of it also. What a coincidence. So we can't get real pictures of Earth from space anymore, but don't worry, we did it in 69 and 72. Because they had multiple supposed moon missions. There's something called a radiation belt out there now. It's too dangerous to go. They just got lucky and went. What a joke. Someone went around offering $5,000 cash to every astronaut to put their hand on the Bible and say they went to the moon. Guess how many took up the offer? None of them. Actually, one of them assaulted the guy. There's $1 million offer to anyone that can show water bending around a ball spinning and adhering to the outside. $1 million. I've been offering $100 all day to anyone that can answer 3 basic questions of the globe Earth.
Oh, wait, I volunteer.
You want to try?
What are the questions?
Okay.
Yes.
All right, the first one's super easy. How many times does the globe Earth spin every 24 hours?
Every 24 hours. Well, let's see. Time is relative, so that's a really tough question to ask. How fast are you going personally from your frame of reference?
According to the globe Earth model, how many times does it spin every 24 hours?
24 hours is relative. Again, that's it. According to Einstein. That's I have to know how fast
the model claims a number. The model claims a number, bro.
I don't know the model.
Time is actually conceptual. Okay.
It is
right.
conceptual. You're right there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you lost, bro. But the answer is 1. Supposedly 1 time every day the Earth spins. That's why we supposedly have a day. They do say time is relative. Well, that's cool. It is because it's conceptual.
Yep.
Yeah. Time's not linear. It's conceptual.
Yep.
It's based on the quantification of passing based on the cycle of the sky. There is no physicality to it. Actually, Einstein claims that space has physical properties like bending and warping. This is literally impossible and stupid. The theory of relativity has been debunked. It's off by 95% when it comes to the universe. It's called dark matter and dark energy. It has fell flat on its face. Actually, it was debunked in the 50s by the galaxy rotational speeds. This is, of course, presupposing the distances, presupposing that they're doing what they say. The truth is, there are just lights in the sky, bro, and they move. Wow, that's crazy. Actually, they're not moving, though. They're still. You're moving. You just don't feel it. It's all relative. If I say the word relative, then it makes it all magically true. Right? So all the stars, if you do time-lapse of star trails, I do them all the time. If you face north, what you'll find is all the star trails go around the center. What's up? UFOs were about a good question, bro. So the Pentagon was given 180 days to release UFO information. It was up yesterday. Of course, they didn't do it. They're going to drip feed it. I've seen 7 UFOs myself in one night. I know that UFOs are real. It's a real phenomenon. But is it little green men that come from thousands of light years away? Absolutely not. And I would actually venture to say it's metaphysical entities that are already present, if there are any entities. They may be in the deepest parts of the ocean like they came from back in the day, according to all ancient mythos. And we have 70% of the ocean unexplored. So I would say humans have used electrostatic propulsion, magnetic levitation to fly in different directions, which is provable that the Nazis did in the 30s. And then came across rockets in the 60s. So yeah, UFOs are just, it's a phenomenon. You can fly. I think they're trying to replicate something that actually happens. All the world's biggest observatories actually don't let you see the pictures. So I think that these things fly around and that humans have imitated them. But they're not from some magic civilization thousands of light years away. They're local. So that's my answer. And of course, speaking of, the world's biggest observatory, i.e. a telescope, is owned by the Roman Catholic Church. Guess what they named it? Lucifer. You couldn't make it up, bro. A church named the world's biggest telescope Lucifer. That's of course because all the people in charge are Luciferians. And that's why they cast this lie onto you. And that's why it has 666 all throughout it. We're going 66,600 miles per hour around the sun. That's a coincidence though. We're on a 66.6 degree tilt. Another coincidence. The curvature rate is 8 inches per mile squared, 0.666 feet per mile squared. That's just a coincidence. The circumference of the Earth in nautical miles is 21,600. That's 6 times 6 times 600. Probably another coincidence. Suppose the diameter of the moon is 2,160. 6 times 6 times 60. Just a coincidence. The number for gravity is 6.66666 rounded up to 6.67. Another coincidence. So what they have to do is they believe in the natural law of attraction. They have to tell you that they're tricking you. They have to put the truth out in front of you. They have to stamp their signature on it. And you have to fool yourself. They think that means they don't get ramifications in the natural world. And of course it actually seems that they're kind of true. The natural law of attraction does have a lot of reality to it. They're not accounting for the metaphysical consequences though, are they? Because they think that they're basically going to become gods. Now trust me, I get it sounds crazy, but you should read their literature. Albert Pike is the only person outside as a Confederate soldier with a statue in Washington, D.C. He tells you that they're Luciferians. He tells you that the Earth is flat. Every 33rd degree Mason ever knows the Earth is flat. They lied to you, they told you different numbers, but they got to show you the truth. I can't get into specifics about the psychological operation over the last year because YouTube will literally take my entire channel down. I'll have one more strike and they'll terminate it. They call it medical misinformation. I'm not allowed to tell you what medical journals say or what the health organizations say themselves because I will be forcibly censored and deleted off of YouTube. So I'll leave that one on the back burner.
Do you know anything about the scripture in the Bible that says the kingdom of God is within?
The scriptures say the kingdom is within. Yeah, we're made in the spirit of Yah. So yeah, the kingdom is within. But you're not a god. You're a portion of the Creator. And actually God is the Babylonian deity for fortune and luck. That's why it's on the back of your money. It's their Babylonian deity for fortune and luck. So in God we trust. Yeah, they literally trust in the Babylonian deity called God. His name was Yehovah. Some say Yahweh. It actually tracks back to Jupiter. Yehovah or Yahuwah. That's why you say hallelujah. That's why it's Jeremiah. That's why the Messiah's name was Yehoshua. It's all about salvation through Yah. So anyway, yeah, the scriptures say that the earth is flat. Yeah. Hallelujah. The scriptures say the earth is flat, of course. I know a lot of people don't believe them. I don't really blame people for hating religion, though. It sucks. It kills tons of people, and it's used for brainwash. But of course, religion is doctrine built upon, men. So a belief system built upon the doctrine of men. Yeshua hated that. He thought it was dumb. His name wasn't Jesus either. At the Talmudic curse on his name, may his name and remembrance be blotted out. That's what that means in Hebrew. That's what it says in the Talmud. But anyway, just because he asked about the scriptures, it tells you that the earth takes shape like clay under a sill. It has a firmament that separates the heavenly waters from the earthly waters. It's immovable and fixed. It's a circle. He uses a different word in Hebrew for ball. A few verses later describes something else, proving that the author Isaiah was not calling the earth a ball, but rather a circle within corners. It's immovable and fixed. So if you do happen to believe in the scriptures, you're going to have to basically say they're not true to say the earth is a ball. When was the last time I saw Biden here? I've only been here for a few days. First time I've been in the White House. I haven't seen him. I don't know. I hear he glitches out on camera a lot nowadays. I don't keep up with that, though, because who cares? They're all psychopaths on the same team. So they're just left and right wings of the same bird, my man. Is he there? Is he not there? I don't know. They've admitted they have something called deep fakes. It's public technology. Deep fake, deep voodoo. You can look it up. The makers of South Park are the ones that have it. But I don't know. I don't really get involved in that stupid. I'm not going to pick sides within a group of people that actually hate all of us equally. Yeah. What about the other planets in the solar system? That's not a bad question. The etymology of the word planet is wanderer. Okay, that's why they're called planets. They're wandering lights in the sky. I document them all the time with the highest commercially available zoom that there is. It's called a P1000 or a P900. They're orbs of light. You know how you see a flashlight, it looks like a circle? They're orbs of light. That's what the lights are on the sky. All we ever see is a circle that moves. They're not static. They look like they're in a fluid-like medium, which conveniently enough, the scriptures actually say that it separates the heavenly waters from the earthly waters. But the moon is a circle also. What exactly it is, I don't know. There's no evidence.
It's a sphere!
No, it's a sphere. Yeah. Wow, this dude's a zealot. Shocker.
It's true!
Yes, it's true, but supposedly we only see one side of the moon for all recordable history because it just coincidentally spins the exact speed it needs to only see half of a ball. So there's no proof that it's solid terra firma. Actually, they say that it won't match each other forever, so. It's just a light in the sky, man, so, you know. What? What about NASA?
Like spaceships. So the spaceships, are they real?
Are spaceships real? Rockets are real, but they don't go to what's called outer space. That violates the second law of thermodynamics. Yeah, there's declassified military documents. You can't go over 62 miles. You can't have a pressurized system adjacent to a near-perfect vacuum. The pressure would fill the available space. Entropy would increase. It's called the second law of thermodynamics. Supposedly, NASA went to the moon in '69, but still can't go back, bro. So I don't believe people that love Nazis. International Space Station, there's no verification. It's 252 miles in the sky going 17,500 miles per hour. The only time you can actually see anything other than a light is a lunar transit, and it's much lower and much smaller. So they have some type of satellite that's typically tied to balloons. They're called satelloons. You can actually look on nasa.gov. Yeah, and they're actually the most efficient way to do it. There's something called the Google Loon Project in 2018. The only way they could get internet to remote areas was to use balloons. I thought we had satellites. So there's balloons. More than 10 times they've been seen falling. Balloons are cheap. Okay, yeah, that's a cool story. Yeah, but satellites are more efficient. Don't have to be replaced.
Yes, but like if you can put 1,000 units up of a balloon, or you can put one satellite, you can run 1,000 balloons.
Yeah, you're just making up excuses, though. It's the truth. I'm going to be blamed for. I'm being frank with you. So basically, what you're saying is there's no empirical evidence that these exist. Every time that one falls out of the sky, it's tied to a balloon. Every time we need to get internet to someone, we have to tie it to a balloon. According to all declassified objects, documents, it's always balloons. NASA's the #1 purchaser of helium in the world. They purchase 90% of the world's helium. There's no actual evidence that you could have a satellite in a vacuum of space. We would just have to blindly believe it's there, but we never use them because they're too expensive, even though they claim there's thousands of them.
One more, I promise.
What evidence would I need to know if the Earth was a ball? If I was actually able to go to space, would that change my mind? Yeah, sure. If I went to a magic physics-defying medium called outer space and I was able to see the Earth a ball, sure. But you literally can't do that. Only 24 people in the history of all mankind has even claimed to go past low Earth orbit. Do you think that 24 people could lie? 24 people certainly can lie. Yeah. And everything else is compartmentalized on a need-to-know basis. That's how the military operates. There's tens and tens of millions, actually hundreds of millions. Yeah, it's terrifying. You blind believe it. I'll give you $100. You can answer 3 questions. You won't know them. Okay, so you blindly believe it. Go ahead. It's actually illegal to try to do that. It's called the 60th south latitude. It's illegal by the Antarctic Treaty. Every major world superpowers agreed on this in the 50s. Yeah, see, there's something called the ice wall around you. You can't legally go there. It's illegal. Every country's agreed. Because they'll kill you, bro. Yeah, people have tried and been intercepted and imprisoned without due process. No, there's not. No, who? I know, but I know all about it. So there's something called the supposed north to south circumnavigation race that happens once a year. They actually go down and pop back up. Their route is publicly available. They pop down south and pop back up north. They don't go over Antarctica. It's illegal to even try to go there. It's illegal to do a commercial flight because we got to save the penguins. Every country has agreed on this. You cannot go there privately. You can go on a proof guided tour for $20,000 to $40,000. They take you to a little barber pole shop in the middle. You can't verify your location with a compass because they don't work in the south. So there's no empirical evidence at all that there's a little ice cap on the bottom of a ball that defies physics.
Hey, if you can talk about it, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, look into it. Yeah. You're just gonna blindly believe it. I get it. It's not my problem.
Are you
Let
from
the
Cali? Or are you from Florida?
I'm actually from Tennessee.
Oh, you're from Tennessee?
Yeah. That's what people say a lot. Oh, nice. What's up,
There's
guys?
the palm shirts on the
Thanks.
tree.
Yeah.
We're just like, yeah.
How's it going? So yeah, I mean, I'm not here to like try to convince people necessarily, right? Like, think what you think. Like, I want you to think what you think, bro. If you want to blindly believe stupid fairy tales of cartoons, be my guest, man. You can go watch NASA and think it's real. I mean, Space Wars and Star Wars and all this other nonsense, and I guess you can think it's real too. But I'm gonna have to say that's a hard pass for you, boy. The Earth's not a spinning ball. Basically what this guy's saying, I know nothing about it. I know you know way more about it than I do. I know you've tested it. I've never tested it. I know that I don't actually know what the proof is, but I know you're crazy for not believing what I believe. Effectively, it's like I go into a church and someone tells me the Bible's real, and then they tell me they've never read Genesis. I'm like, what a cool story, bro. I did read Genesis. Not the best analogy because the scriptures actually happen to be true, but take that or leave it. So anyway, it's called a religion because it's a belief system built upon the doctrine of men that requires blind faith. So this lie has created more quote-unquote atheists than anything else in the world, but they're actually religious. You see the irony there? You have to be more religious than any other religion in the world to think that the Earth's a spinning ball because most of you don't even know what it claims, yet you think you know it's real. That's called blind faith, blind belief. That's the definition of a religion. So I know this is uncomfortable because you're like, I hate religion. I'm so woke, I'm an atheist. Well, the truth is, if you think there's a ball, you are religious. Also, I would go ahead and tell you there's no such thing as an atheist. Atheism means you're willing to say that there is 100% no chance there's a creator. I'm pretty sure no one would say they know for a 100% fact that there's no creator. They may say, I don't know of one, I don't think there is one. That's called agnostic, just to address that little misnomer there. If anyone thinks they can answer 3 basic questions of the globe Earth, I'll give them $100 cash. If you get the 3 answers right, you get $100 cash. If you get them wrong, you don't lose any money. There's nothing to lose here. I can't tell you the questions before. Everyone's got Google. I'll tell you the first question. I've told everyone. The first question is, how many times does the Earth spin in one 24-hour period? Super easy question. Yeah. And we'll keep that same first question even though the crowd answered. Yeah, it's not moving, bro. Of course, these are according to the globe Earth. This is all pseudoscience, but I just like to make the point that no one, even for $100 free money, can answer the questions. It's because they don't know it. You should wonder, who is it that's ignorant in this subject? If I know all the answers, you don't know any of them. And it's not because I'm like some genius or something. It's just I went and looked into it. You can look into it too. Don't let people think or scare you away from thinking for yourself. You don't have credentials. Yeah, you're right. I wasn't dumb enough to fall for some stupid little trick where you put me in $100,000 debt for a piece of paper where I still can't get a job. Haha, joke's on you. I didn't fall for it. I'm not telling anyone to not go to college. We need specific training for certain jobs. What I'm saying, the fact you did doesn't mean that you're automatically right. That's dumb. I debate them all too, by the way. Astrophysics professors, PhDs, you name them. I line them up 5v1. They can't debate it. Do you think you know the 3 basic questions? Do you think there's a ball, bro? Oh, fair enough, bro. You don't know. See, I don't expect to, like, quote-unquote convert people here. I would actually think that makes you kind of weak-minded. I mean, if you fact-check me and you see that I'm telling you everything that's objective and true, and you realize they lied, that's cool. If you heard some of the logical points I made and you're like, dude, that don't add up, I think they lied, that's cool, right? But you shouldn't blindly just automatically believe other people. I'm actually telling you not to do that. I'm telling you, don't believe me, go test the Earth. Guess what I've done for 5 years? I've tested the Earth, I've measured the Earth. We have long-distance observations that are literally impossible on the globe Earth. So all you have to do is test it yourself. Look for empirical scientific evidence of the claims. And yeah, I'm posted up here because people love to come here, so they gotta listen, get the truth. You're gonna get this word. So the Earth is not a spinning ball, that defies physics. If anybody thinks they can answer 3 basic questions of the globe Earth, I got $100 cash for you right now. The Earth is flat. Fair enough. Touche. I just do this to prove that no one actually knows the answers to the question. No one does. And I've actually said most of the answers to the questions out here on the mic. People still won't know them. And again, I'm not like taking shots at you guys. They taught us all the same, bro. Okay? They just showed you a cartoon. They said, look, the Earth's a ball. They spun it, and you're like 7. And you said, wait, wouldn't I fall off of it? And she said, no, gravity. And you're like, oh, word, that checks out. When's recess? You didn't really care. You know what I'm saying? And they just told you it was a ball. Guess what the next lesson is? It's not the circumference of the Earth, or the radius of the Earth, or the spin of the Earth, or how you test the Earth. None of that. They don't tell you to go test and prove the Earth's a ball. They tell you, look at the solar system. Here are some cartoons of planets. Now you better learn the order of them and the names of them. That's the first thing they teach you is about space fairy tales. They don't teach you about the globe Earth because then you know how to test it. And most of you don't even know the answer to the space fairy tale questions anymore. So you should wonder why it is they didn't teach us the truth. See, if they had nothing to hide and it was just about thinking for yourself and finding empirical evidence, you know what they would tell the children? They would say when you go out and you see that the sun moves in the sky, you have 2 options. Either the sun is moving in the sky, or actually it's sitting still and you're falling backwards 1,000 miles an hour, and it just looks like that. But they don't tell them that, do they? They say, oh, the star trails move around over top of you in concentric circles for all recordable history. Either the sky resets moving over top of you, or actually it's still and the Earth is just spinning day after day, and it looks like that. Why don't they tell you that? They just tell you to believe it. Actually, I had a TV rolled in my science class. It had Bill Nye, the science guy, not an actual scientist. He's an actor. You can look it up. And he said, you know how we know the Earth's a ball? Well, back in the day, people thought it was flat. But then they got in boats, and they sailed in boats, and they couldn't see the boat anymore. That's because it's over the curvature of the Earth. That's how we proved the Earth was a ball. This was literally what I was taught in school. Actually, by the way, even ended up going to a private school, and they didn't teach me any better. So the Earth is flat. Yeah, provably. It just doesn't move. It's stationary. It's flat. Of course, we have mountains and valleys. It's a topographical plane.
Why don't you see the board? What happens to the board?
To the boat. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me.
It falls off?
No, it doesn't fall off. Jeez Louise, that's so. It doesn't fall off because you can't go past 60 south latitude. There's something containing the waters. So why does the boat disappear? That is a good question. Well, actually, they don't disappear. I make observations all the time. So you go out there and you look at the boat, and now you can't see the boat anymore. You know what you do? You pull out a pair of binoculars and you can see the boat again. I thought it was over a curve of the Earth. What about night and day? That's a good question. The sun moves over top of the Earth. Eventually it gets to where you can't see it anymore. It has a certain radius of light. The technical term is attenuation of light, just a fancy way of saying that the light gets absorbed into the atmosphere, into the medium. So light doesn't travel forever. So it's a localized light. It's not nearly as big as they say. It's small over the Earth, and once you can't see it anymore, it becomes night, it comes back around, and it becomes day. Simple stuff. And again, so then you can actually, then it'll disappear to the binoculars. The boat's gone again. Uh-oh, it must have been the curve this time. Well, then I can pull out my P900 and bring it all the way back into view again. It doesn't disappear because it goes over a curvature. It disappears because you can't see forever. Okay, you have a limit of perspective. Just like when you look at the end of a long hallway and it looks like the ceiling and the floor converge, they're not actually converging, guys. It's just a law of perspective. You can't see forever. It appears to vanish into the horizon. Just like when you look at the long railroads, they're actually, of course, flat, as every blueprint of railroads will ever show you. They couldn't work if they weren't. And they appear to converge, but they're not. They're parallel. So you can't see forever. You can actually replicate this yourself like 1,000 different ways. You can take a quarter on a table, videotape it, move it away from you. Eventually you can't see it anymore. It's just a simple law of perspective. That's why I was able to increase how far I could see and see the boat again. Because you can't see once it reaches your limit of perspective. But once I brought the binoculars out, it increased my limit of perspective and it brought it back. Can't answer that question because YouTube will terminate my channel. So, yeah. WitsitGetsIt on YouTube. W-I-T-S-I-T gets it. G-T-S-I-T. If you don't type it in perfectly, then you will not get it. But I'll answer that question. If you're here when I get off the mic in a second, I'll answer that question. But I can't answer it. I have one more chance and they terminate my channel because we're in such a free country. Let's just say I don't buy lies. I wouldn't call myself religious because I actually hate religion. That's built upon the doctrine of men, and men are stupid. But I do happen to know the scriptures are true, so that's where I lose a lot of people. But it is what it is. That's why I'm out here anyway. Scripture is the most historically accurate compilation that exists. Yeshua is the most historically accurate figure that exists. He overcame death. Take it or leave it. But one thing that we do know, the Bible is a flat Earth book. But don't worry, it's not alone in that. Every single religion ever said the Earth was flat, except for like Scientology and Mormonism. Noah's boat.
You're in the middle, like,
Some people claim that they found it. I don't actually buy that guy's story. So yeah, there is actually anthropological evidence for chariot spokes on the bottom of the sea, as well as all of their equipment. Astrology. What exactly do you mean? Like, what do I believe about it? Like, do I believe in like horoscopes? No, I do not. I think that they actually emit electromagnetic frequencies. They may affect us. We may be born with some certain type of frequency at the time because they are clearly electromagnetic in a fluid-like medium, which sounds a little, technical, but can't answer that question either. We don't live in a free country anymore. I would say, well, yeah, the last year the government took over. I don't know if you were here, but maybe we can get it back. We'll have to stop complying and being scared of the air and stuff like that, but I would say it's kind of sketchy. They're building a network system the same year that they put Starlink satellites up everywhere. They want 42,000 of them up. They're trying to make it where they can surveil you everywhere you go. Yeah. So probably a coincidence they did that and updated the infrastructure the same year that they told everyone they have curfews and lockdowns, though, so we couldn't go see what they were doing. That's another coincidence. See, to me, you guys sound like coincidence theorists.
I have a question. What is your favorite conspiracy theory?
Favorite conspiracy theory? Jeez Louise, that's a loaded question.
I know, it's hard.
Whoa. Yeah, conspiracy theory is a term created by the CIA to discredit anyone that questions the truth, but we'll rock with it because I theorize about their conspiracies. Honestly, I would say it's really hard to top the fact they lied about the nature of the Earth. See, what people think are big ones are baby ones to me. Like 9/11, that's a baby truth. I call that a baby truth. Like, no, passports don't pop out of fire. You know, I'm not saying nothing happened. I'm saying what they said happened didn't happen. Aliens do not exist in extraterrestrial intergalactic civilizations thousands of light years away, but there are UFOs. It's a real phenomenon. I've seen 719 myself. What they are, I do not make claims. I know that the government has had the technology to have UFOs for a long time. It's called electrographenic propulsion or magnetic levitation, quantum locking. Very easy. Using magnetism, you can have a UFO. They replicate what I think is actually metaphysical entities that were in the scriptures called the Watchers of the Fallen, ones that deceived the world once, and they're going to come back. The big one is that they lied about the nature of the earth, and everyone thinks the Bible is one of the dumbest books ever. The Bible is real, but it's translated in English. The names have been changed. They've undermined the validity of it. Hebrew. Yeah, and actually, if you go research Hebrew, you'll get the Babylonian cuneiform version of Hebrew, not even the original Hebrew. There's something called Paleo-Hebrew, which comes before that, and there's even a more ancient version of Hebrew, which is more pictographic. When you actually get to the Hebrew, you find out it's incredibly accurate about everything. You can't prove it wrong of any. So there, yeah, I mean, I think the Quran has a lot of truth to it. It says revere the people of the good book, but I don't think it's the truth. It claims that Muhammad is the last prophet ever 600 years after. So I'll just keep it there, not because people get real triggered about that, but no, I don't adhere to that because it makes claims antithetical to the scriptures. They can't both be true, even though it says that they're both true. Frankly, I think that Mormonism is one of the craziest religions ever. Some dude went out into the woods and said he found some magical gold plate and that they have magical underwear and that Jesus, which wasn't even his name, and Lucifer are actually brothers, and Jesus just won this planet, and that you're a god, and that if you become a god, you get your own planet. I'm going to have to pass on that. I happen to know that those don't exist. My favorite states. I don't know. I rock with the Southeast pretty tough. They're big on their First and Second Amendment. So I don't know. I'm from Tennessee. I'll rock with that. Got a rep, you know. I don't pick them. Although, funny enough, I will say that these psychopaths, this is a pretty big red pill, but the unopened mind will consider me weird. It's the way the Matrix engineered it. They worship someone called Nimrod. or Osiris, Gilgamesh, the man of many names. The story goes that he was dismembered into 13 body parts. Isis put him back together but couldn't find his male anatomy. So she replicated it with gold and impregnated herself because I guess she's into necrophilia. That's what the Washington Monument's called a phallic symbol. It's 6,666 inches tall. Probably a coincidence. 555 feet and 5 inches, that's 6,666 inches. And that's why we had 13 colonies when America was founded, because he was dismembered into 13 body parts. So that's a bit of a big red pill. Most people can't handle stuff that deep, but no, the Big Bang are the stupidest postulations ever, and it will go down as one of the dumbest things in the history of mankind. It was actually... Yeah, the Earth had to be created. That's why the flat Earth truth is such a big deal, because if it's a geocentric stationary plane, it had to be put there because it doesn't move and it's the center of everything. The Big Bang Theory was actually proposed by a Jesuit priest, a Catholic priest. How ironic is that? People use it to be quote-unquote atheist, and it was proposed by a Jesuit priest named George Lamonte, and he actually says there was a pre-existing energy. It doesn't even answer the question. It's stupid. Everything can't come from nothing, believe it or not. How do I feel about Biden? I think he's just one in a long line of psychopaths that are all crazy and in the same little group. That's what I think. I think that he should work on being able to speak in coherent sentences before he runs for president next time. Don't get it twisted, though. I'm not like a Trump fan or something. Hopefully Joe will come talk to me. Maybe Joe can debate me about the flat Earth. I wonder. That would be hysterical. NASA. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Earth is not a magic spinning cartoon ball in a vacuum. That defies physics, including the second law of thermodynamics and fluid statics. Global warming is a hoax. There's no evidence for it. And for one, there's no globe. And then they changed it to the word climate change, which is painfully redundant because climate's change. That's what the word means. So yeah, we have a change in temperatures. Oh my goodness. That must mean the government should be able to take over and give us more rules. So I think it's all pseudoscience. Actually, you can look back, and NASA doctored their global recordings of temperature all the way back to the 50s and changed them to make them higher. Usually when you tell the truth, you don't gotta lie a lot.
Joe Biden's coming to debate you.
Oh, Joe Biden's coming to debate me. That's what's up. Dude, I don't know. Joe Biden's really sharp with his vernacular. I'm getting really nervous right now. I guess we could show him, but look at the live, but it's all good. Oh man, he's gone. What are we gonna do? He's probably on a meeting to make sure that we're all free. I think that Trump got bailed out by the Rothschilds Incorporated, which is one of the most corrupt families in the history of mankind, for like 4 points. Yeah. What up? The Earth is flat. I had to hit him with the truth so you had to be real about what it was about. Yeah. I mean, I just got on it. I don't really ever get on there, but yeah. WitsitGetsIt. I'll type it in. Let me see. WitsitGetsit. WitsitGetsIt. Same on YouTube. I don't really ever get on there, but I think I got like... I call them dumb phones. And they have black mirrors, which is actually how you practice black magic. It's not a coincidence, but it's the world that we live in. You know, they have their pros and their cons. I would say you got to be able to unplug from the system sometimes. So just put your phone down for a day or so and go get in nature. That's what I would say.
Like psychics, like actually, like mediums and stuff.
That's a good question. Do I think that psychics can actually do that like a medium? Yes, I do. I just don't think that they're doing it the proper way. We have metaphysical powers that we get from the Creator and the Messiah, but if you go around them, you can do dark magic, and it gets a little dangerous. That's my opinion. So does astral projection because your vessel's empty and stuff, but that's a whole nother rabbit hole. So you couldn't have a pressurized system adjacent to a near-perfect vacuum because pressure would fill the available space. So when you go and you talk to your science teacher that tells you the Earth's a globe next time, ask them how it is that we have pressure that keeps us alive. And then ask them about the second law of thermodynamics. What's the container for the pressure? How's it sitting next to a vacuum? because the second law necessitates entropy will increase. And I can guarantee you, she will not answer the question. You should also ask her, how is it that if fluid statics is a natural law that necessitates water always finds its level, how is it bending convexly on the outside of a spinning sphere in a vacuum? Yeah, pray. Yehovah. No, but they got the name the closest. There was no J until the 1400s, but yeah. No, I know Yeshua, who people call Jesus, is the truth. Judaism does not recognize him. Nah. A believer of Yah, follow Yah. I don't do titles, those are religions. Denominations are dumb. Effectively, actually, yeah. But you know how you say hallelujah? But I would say he's omnipresent. Yeah, but he's actually on a throne above us. He says he uses the earth as a footstool, in fact. That couldn't work on a spinning ball. Good luck trying to do that. Cults? Yeah, I think most religions are cults. I think the globe earth is a cult. People try to say the flat earth is a cult. The truth is we're trying to brainwash you to think for yourself. So it's pretty much the opposite of a cult. I just want you to look for yourself. Yeah, cults are pretty dangerous. Like, people that blindly believe the news. Oh, I'm gonna pick one of two. It's either CNN or Fox News, or oh no, I'm gonna go really exciting today. MSNBC. They're all the same. Yeah, I'm my own news. I don't watch the news. It's all a lie. Something called Operation Mockingbird was declassified by the CIA. I think in the 50s, maybe it's 73. And the CIA admits that they took over all mainstream media, that news anchors are actually CIA agents, and that they control the public narrative to be consistent with whatever agenda they need to accomplish. It's literally declassified. It's called Operation Mockingbird. Yeah, so I don't make a big habit of watching them emit frequencies of lies at me. That's how everyone's sitting here scared of the air still a year later. Organic food, and just drink a lot of water and get sunshine, and don't overeat meat. Yeah, organic's the best you can get. I mean, do I trust it? No, I haven't gotten there yet. I'm trying. That is the plan, though. Get a bunch of land and grow food. I encourage everybody to get right with the Creator, buy a bunch of land, be self-sustainable, grow food, get a wife, and make babies. Yeah. Do I believe they're real? Yeah, they're real. There's a statue of them right over there, holding hands. Bunch of weirdos with naked babies beside them. That statue literally has two dudes holding hands by naked babies. I just think it's weird. Actually, if you go to the Library of Congress, they have the Roman god Neptune out front. So this is just a bunch of Roman pagan statues. In a World TV. I think I'm about to take another break, though. I might keep the live stream running, though, just because I'm not going to be here again. We're traveling the U.S. Thanks for being cool. Thanks for asking questions. If you want to keep up with any of the content, you can go to YouTube, WitsitGetsIt. You have to type it in perfectly or you will not find it. It's shadow banned and censored. WITSIT space GETS space IT. Whitsitt gets it. WITSIT. Yeah, you got something I can ride on? You got anyone have a pen? Hey, bro, can I use your pen real fast anyway? Oh, okay, cool. I'll write it down when that pen's free. I got you, brother. So yeah, we have some flat Earth information up here if you'd like. I also have an iPad with the observations on it I was discussing if you'd like to verify it. I strongly encourage everyone to verify it for themselves. I'm on IG. WitsitGetsIt. I don't really ever get on there at all, but maybe I'll start. Snapchat, WitsitGetsIt, YouTube, WitsitGetsIt. And the only reason I'm doing that, I actually feel like it's an infomercial when I do that. It's because if I don't tell you, you won't get the real information. You'll find a flat Earth society and a bunch of misinformation. If you type in, is the Earth flat, you'll find nothing but hundreds of videos, thousands of videos telling you how we know it's not flat. And by the way, I've watched them all. They're all dumb. I can answer every single question. They'll tell you that someone named Aristophanes 2,000 years ago proved the Earth was a ball using sticks and shadows. Well, you can actually do the same exact demonstration and show it works on a flat Earth. So, that's awkward. Neil deGrasse Tyson also admits this. NASA's fake. Sorry. Actually, NASA in Hebrew means to deceive. They brought a bunch of Nazis over here. I'm not trying to hate on you didn't know it's a pretty fresh shirt, especially the tie-dye part. But check out that little part of the logo. It's like a snake's tongue, probably a coincidence. Alright, I'm going to take a break. Give this dude my digits. But yeah, here's the conclusion. You might ask yourself, what's it matter if the Earth is flat? I'm going to say it one time in case you didn't hear it. A lot of people say, what's it even matter? Why would they even lie? We actually have a rap song called Why Would They Lie? So you get that question so freaking much. It's just people's attempt to try to dismiss it because it makes them uncomfortable. The reason that they would lie doesn't matter when it comes to did they lie. If your girl's cheating on you, I'll show you a video. You're going to look at the evidence. You're not going to be like, I'm not looking at that video until you tell me why she would lie. I don't think she'd ever do that. I can't see why she would do that. I'd be like, you're a loser, bruh. Whatever. She's getting down with dude. But anyway, you have to look at the evidence. But why would they lie? I'll give you a few speculations real fast, and I'm going to take a break on the mic. They get $60 million a day, but the government would never lie for money, right? So we'll throw that one out. They don't let you privately explore past the 60th south latitude. It's called the Antarctic Treaty, but the government would never lie for land and resources. That's impossible. And what I consider the most obvious reason that they lied, they tell you that you're a tiny speck of dust in the ever-expanding universe. It's pure random and chaotic. You're not important. It's just random evolution that you evolved on this random speck of dust. You're lucky to even be alive. None of it means anything. You're just spinning around the sun. The truth is that the Earth is geocentric, stationary plane. That means it's not moving and it's the center of everything. If it is not moving, which, by the way, guys, you don't feel like you're moving right now unless you've been chugging alcohol. And if it's not moving and it's the center of everything, that means it had to be placed there. Now, how you figure out who placed it there, that's on you. But if you knew if there was a creator, you know you're special. You have to answer to the creator, not to the government. So that's why I think they lied. That's up to you. That's a personal speculative question. Figure out why they lied after you figure out that they did lie. All right, I'm taking a break. Peace. In a world, guys. I'm gonna go give this dude my digits real fast. Dude, I know that y'all heard it. Jeez Louise.
Selfie soon from the White House, right in the front.
What they'll do, based on what you're saying, so I can't contact you. Everything you say like that, I have another right friend that walk here. Stay there. Talk about Dr. King, stuff about the way that I want to. He put your phone where it was at, and he was quiet. Sad because democracy, why can't you do that?
Oh, look at the sun shining off.
Okay, so I'm saying that okay, I had another thing. They changed the number. I would be able to locate. I want to see okay. What I'm saying, they'll do it. Okay. Give your name then on the Austin. Can I use it one more time?
Yeah, I got you. Oh, he's like filming all of that.
I don't know. Sorry, the pin's kind of going out, but it says Austin, Texas. Let me go check. I gotta chat with my chat real fast, bro. What's up, guys? In a world. Get on the chat. It's the oh dude, 87%. That's what I'm talking about. I know, guys, that when I get in the chat, everyone's gonna have to give me some advice about how I should do it, but I guess you could come to Washington, D.C., grab a microphone, and flat smack everyone the way that you want to do it. I'm just saying, though.
This is 8, right?
Yes, 1683.
I'll write it down at 731. 513-168.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll write down something else like that.
Cool, bro.
They would take you, they would cut you off.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but the creator's got my back, bro.
I hope so. Yeah. What you saying about the truth?
Okay, Elijah Freeman, super chat, $5. If the Earth was a globe, the president would most definitely come through to slam dunk that win if he was free. But no one for $100 can answer 3 questions. Yeah, exactly. Eli's a legend. What's up, Eli? Thank you, Just Jack, for typing the super chats. Much love, bro. Watching your live, great performance, Witsit. Thank you very much. You did great. Thank you guys for all the compliments. What's up, Austin? You do you. Yeah, exactly, bro. 99.9% are saying you are crushing it. Perfect, bro. Thank you, guys. Much love. Much love.
About Trump. You know what you said about Trump?
Yeah, I didn't even get on that. Yeah. Trump got bailed out by the Rothschilds, and he's just part of the game.
You got what? You
He got bailed out by the Rothschilds.
bailed out with you, bailed out.
They gave him $4.8 billion whenever he was about to lose his casino. They just gave it to him. He's in charge of Operation Warp Speed, which is where they put out the...
A lot of people see. A lot of people feel that Biden or the Wall Street Club that they threw Trump out to put him in. The
Yeah.
Wall Street threw Trump out, put Biden in.
Personally, I think they all suck. They're all related to each other. Did you know that? Every president is all related and all ties back to English royalty. Everyone will leave Obama. Crazy stuff, bro. So for me, I just
You don't think that Wall Street threw Biden out? They threw Trump out to put Biden in because Biden said the only thing the Jews would do is what's best for them. And a lot of people feel they threw him out for that.
I can't talk about that either.
Oh, yeah, I see.
But let's just say he's
The
good.
other friend of mine,
He's
that's
good.
the right guy. He said the same thing.
You can't, bro.
Same thing you can't say.
They'll delete it.
Where's our democracy?
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. I'm
Where's
telling
our
you.
democracy?
Austin,
Can you talk away from that machine, dude?
In a second. Yeah, in a second. Austin, you are a blessing. Thank you for having the courage to share the truth out there in such an effective way. Everyone here sees you are on fire. Thank you very much, Dandelion Wine, for the support and the kind words. Much love.
Leave the machine over there. You leave the
got
phone
you.
machine over there.
Yeah, I will in a
When you
sec.
get
I will
chance,
in
I'll
a
be
sec.
over here. Leave everything else over there.
$10 from Zilla. Thank you very much for the support, my man. Much love. Also, I will say right now, if you send anything to Cash App with a message, I can also read that. Okay, I don't have PayPal on this phone, but I do have Cash App. I'll check in a second. America is not a democracy. No, it's a constitutional republic, supposedly, but it's actually not that either. While Globebusters is preaching to the converted live online, Austin converts in real time in the real world. Oh, I forgot it's Wednesday. Dang. Yeah. You know, we're all over the place. You can't stop Globebusters, bro. Get some.
Get some.
Y'all bless, brother. Thank you, man. Much love. I'm going to move up and see if I got any 200 views, 200 likes. That's what I'm talking about. Smash that thumbs up if you haven't. Or you can be one of those haters that stalk my channel and thumbs down it. I don't know why you would listen to someone talk for hours. That's stupid, though. That's weird. Hand strap upside down. Not sure what that means, bro. You imploded Bike Dude's brain. Dude, you always got the few people that, like, they come up real cocky and then they're just like, oh, wait. I gotta drink some water. We out of water?
No.
Don't feel anything for giving time to that dude. No, of course not, bro. They're just mad they're not you. That's weird, bro. If you're a man, you shouldn't be envious of another man. You need to get a little stronger, maybe grow a beard, get a wife and make babies, and get right with the Creator. I'm just saying, though. Nice job, thanks. It's not working to smash the like button twice. It's all good, thanks for trying. Actually, don't smash it twice. If you're gonna smash it more than once, smash it 3 times. I have to do it like this, I guess, because people will chop me up, Illuminati confirmed, as I expose all their lies outside of the White House. Because you thought this one out. Man wants to hear what you got to say, go give him the knowledge. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm not going to leave him hanging. But I also just don't want to leave the chat hanging. I want to be able to talk to you guys for a second. Much love, Austin. Thank you, bro. Much love. Oh, Frank. Frank, don't abuse your powers, but you're a moderator. I got to kick it. If I kick it with you in person and I can tell you're cool, then I'll mod you up. So, you know, don't feel like left out or something. The guy standing in the back, yeah. All right, I gotta get back on the mic.
Before you get back on the phone, that's what. Yeah, real fast. You need that phone.
Oh man, I gotta get.
Okay, I want you guys to come down here with me. Come on.
Whitsitt.
I'm catching up to Carol, though. The leader. Catch up to Carol, guys.
I thought you guys. I will. I'll do it. Oh no, go right ahead. Okay, Mike. Oh, is it? I thought my God wanted it.
Kayla, you okay?
Is it on?
Okay, do you guys want your picture here?
Can you hold this?
We got the picture.
That's all you wanted? You don't want one of you? No. Here? Oh my God.
Mic check, mic check. Jeez Louise. Okay, perfect. Alright, so I hate to break it to everyone, but if you pick one of the two options you have as a quote-unquote Democrat or Republican, you are picking two sides to the same coin. You are picking one of two wings on the same bird. Every single U.S. president has been kin. Yes, this includes Mr. Donald Trump himself. So every single president is kin and tracks back to English royalty. Probably just a coincidence. I thought we broke against English royalty. What happened to that? But anyway, I'm not going to talk about politics because it's actually very remedial. So the truth of the matter is, you do not live on a magic spinning cartoon ball in a vacuum. Oh, you're crazy. What do you think, the earth is flat? Yeah, actually it is, and I don't think it. I've tested it for 5 years. I know it's flat. So what I encourage everyone to do is actually, when you're in school, ask your teacher a couple questions, see if they can answer. So they say that we're a spinning ball in a vacuum, and it's a vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torque. Well, ask your teacher, how is it that we have pressure, that we breathe in a vacuum? How could you have a pressurized system sitting next to a vacuum? The second law of thermodynamics says this is impossible. This is a natural law. It cannot be debated. So ask your teacher how she can make claims antithetical to the second law of thermodynamics. Now people smirk and laugh and I'm so stupid. They don't even know what the second law of thermodynamics is. You see how ironic that is? But don't worry, I'll tell you what it is. Second law of thermodynamics necessitates that entropy will always increase. Simply, systems will always find equilibrium spontaneously. That means heat goes to cold and high pressure systems migrate to low pressure systems. I'll give you a simple analogy. It's not complicated. When you have a soda, it's a pressurized system. That's why it's sealed, because it's carbonated. That's what keeps it fresh. When you open the soda up, it goes psh, and it equalizes to the lower pressure around it, right? That's why it has to stay sealed to stay fresh and pressurized, because the necessary antecedent, fancy word for requirement, what is required to have pressure is a container. As soon as you open that container up, it equalizes to the pressure around it. You could not have a pressurized system adjacent to a near-perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr. The second law of thermodynamics necessitates that pressure will fill the available space. Entropy will increase. This is a natural law. There's literally not one single exception. It's a natural law. In addition to that, they claim that 70% of the globe Earth is water. Well, fluid statics necessitates that water finds its level. If you pour water into a cup, guess what it does? It conforms to its container and finds its level. If you take the cup and you tilt it to the side, guess what it does? It still finds its level. How could 70% of a ball be level? Make sure you don't think for yourself, children. Make sure you just blindly believe whatever you were told by NASA. You know NASA, the agency that we give $60 million a day. You know NASA, the one that brought Nazi scientists over here in 1969 to take us to the moon? Yeah, that's right. An SS officer of the Nazi regime named Werner von Braun was actually put in charge of space exploration for NASA. I thought we didn't like Nazis. I thought they were the opposite of America. I thought they hated freedom. I thought they were totalitarian. I thought they murdered millions of people. Why didn't we actually hang them for war crimes? I guess they got a pass, and we actually revered them as scientific geniuses and put them in charge of NASA, which was founded within 1 year of the Antarctic Treaty, which every major world superpower agreed you cannot traverse the Earth freely. You can't go past the 60 south latitude. That means China, Russia, America, all these geopolitical adversaries, apparently they put their differences aside so that they could agree we're not allowed to privately travel the Earth. This would actually prove the Earth's a ball. You could circumnavigate it north to south, over the ice cap, come back up over the other side. You can't do this, it's illegal. So no, you can't go to space. It violates the second law of thermodynamics. They claim they went to the moon in '69, but they can't go back 50 years later. Direct quote from one of the world's most renowned astronauts, Don Pettit, is, "I would go back to the moon in a nanosecond." The problem is we destroyed that technology, and it's a difficult, or he actually said painful, process to build it back. They actually accidentally lost all the telemetry data that would prove it. That's funny. Apparently they went to the moon and they called the president with no delay in '69, but I just now documented a SpaceX rocket launch, which of course went over to the side and came back down on a parabolic trajectory, and they had a 1.5 to 2 second delay. So in 2021 we have a delay, when they're still low. How come in '69 we had no delay and the president just picked up a landline and talked to them? I have an iPhone 12 Pro with more processing capability than a warehouse of computers in '69. Technology does not regress, it progresses, it gets better. Apparently there's one exception to this, and that is whenever it comes to technology that gets you to the moon. So it's a lie. Yeah, it's illegal to go over Antarctica. No, it's illegal. Nope, it's illegal to commercially fly because you have to save the penguins. That's the official reason, is that it will kill penguins. Yeah, so you couldn't actually privately travel the Earth because it might kill the penguins. That's convenient. I thought Russia and China and America were all enemies. No, they all agree you're not allowed to privately travel the Earth. Most people don't know what the Antarctic Treaty is. I've been offering everyone here $100 cash if they can answer 3 questions about the globe Earth correctly. If you get it wrong, you lose no money, no strings attached, nothing to lose. Not one person's got the money. I'll even tell you what the first question is. It's something that you learned in elementary school. How many times does the globe Earth spin every 24 hours? You can Google it if you need to on your dumb phone. It's a very easy question. The next 2 are basic metrics about the globe Earth. If you get them right, you get $100 cash, no strings attached. No one can win the money. So apparently people walk by here and mock me and laugh because I know the Earth's flat. Yet they don't even know what they think I'm crazy for not believing in. They don't know how big it is. They don't know what tilt it's on. They don't know how fast it spins. They don't know how fast we go around the sun. They don't know how far away the sun is. They don't know any of the basic questions. So something's not adding up. If I know all about it and I don't believe in it, how am I crazy and ignorant for something you don't even know? It's like me going in a church and someone saying I'm crazy for not believing in the Bible, and then they told me they never read Genesis before. I would laugh in their face. That's kind of how I feel when people try to tell me I'm crazy for not believing in the globe Earth, and they don't even know what the globe Earth model is. They don't even know what gravity is. They don't know what the theory of relativity is. See, I read the theory of relativity. I studied all the metrics. I went and tested the Earth. The truth is this is not a subjective conversation. What do you think the Earth is? You can prove it. I went out and measured the Earth. The Earth has to curve at a certain rate if it's a ball. It has a certain size. So we should see the curvature of the Earth at 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. So very simply, the square root of 1 is 1. So 1 foot off the surface of the Earth, I should see the curvature of the Earth physically blocking my view at 1.225 miles away. We have an observation 1 foot off the surface of the Earth. In California, we see a horizon over 10 miles away. This would require the radius be 264,000 miles. I thought it was just under 4,000 miles. How is it over 250,000 miles? Well, I guess just California's flat. But what about Florida? We have another observation that falsified the radius in Florida. Oh, I guess it's just flat there too. What about Kansas? Publicly known to be as flat as a pancake, quote unquote. Oh, I guess just Kansas is flat. I guess this ball is just flat all over it, but it's still a ball. 70% of the Earth is supposedly water. Fluid statics necessitates water finds its level and conforms to its containment. How could you have 70% of a ball be level? This is why we put fluid in levels, so we can build things, because fluid always finds its level. Yeah, so guess what, guys? When you see the horizon, it's horizontal. That's what the word horizon means. It comes from the word horizontal. Horizontal means flat, not curved. So every time you see the horizon, it's horizontal. You never feel the Earth moving, do you? And of course you don't, unless you're hammered. So we're supposed to believe that the Earth is spinning, but you just don't feel it. That's a cool story.
Yeah, I'm cool with saying that you talk. But when it goes so far out, it goes down because it was down. But you told me, you made me think. If that's true, you can use a telescope and you can still see it. And that wouldn't be true.
Yeah, exactly. When the boat appears to disappear, you can bring out binoculars and bring it back, and then you can bring out a telescope and bring it back again, and then you can bring out a P900 and bring it back again. It doesn't disappear because of the curvature of the Earth physically blocking it. It disappears because of something called limit of perspective. You cannot see forever. I have hundreds of observations bringing ships back into view completely after they were invisible to the naked eye. This is because you can't see forever. I know it's a really hard concept to grasp, but when you look down the end of a long railroad, you can't actually see the railroad forever. They appear to converge. They're parallel, though. It's just an optical effect. You can't see forever because your eyes don't see forever. They have something called an angular resolution limit. So anyway, the fact is that if it's a ball, I'll put it in layman terms, if you walk up to a big mound of dirt, you can't see through the mound of dirt. You can't see to the other side of it because it's physically blocking your view. That's what the Earth has to do if it's a ball. It has to do this at roughly 8 inches per mile squared up to 1,000 miles. It has a parabolic trajectory. Pythagorean theorem.
In high school, when they taught us that it was round, you brought up the binoculars. Then why did they explain that in high school?
Why didn't they explain that in high school? That's a good question. It's probably because they don't want you to know how to test the Earth. Because if you actually see, all you ever get in contention is people screaming stupid words. If I give this guy $100, I'll give you $100 if you can accurately define the theory of relativity right now. Oh, coincidence, you can't do it. I can, I read it. Yeah, I've actually said it on the mic since you've been here 3 times and you still don't know it. So the truth is, when people ridicule you, it's because they're weak. The weak find contentment in the consensus of ignorance. Intelligent people don't care what dumb people think. Informed people don't care what ignorant people think. I don't care what people think when they try to mock me. The truth is, I know the religion inside now. I know every single detail of it. I've actually gone and measured the Earth. It doesn't curve. If the Earth's not curving, then what is it? 70% of the Earth is water. Fluid statics necessitates water finds its level. You can't have a pressurized system adjacent to a near-perfect vacuum. It would fill the available space. It's called the Second Law of Thermodynamics. You cannot make claims antithetical to, fancy word for opposite of. You cannot make claims antithetical to natural law, scientific law, without empirical evidence. I'm supposed to believe that you can defy laws? Actually, it's funny that people use the word magic. The globe Earth is magic. It's the one anomaly to scientific law. So every other time in the history of mankind, for all observations, water always finds its level. The Earth's the one anomaly, apparently. On the globe Earth, the water bends convexly around the exterior of a spinning spherical object in a vacuum. That checks out. Through all empirical evidence ever regarding pressure and the second law, pressure will fill the available space spontaneously, seeking equilibrium and entropy will increase. Apparently when it comes to the globe Earth, it's the one anomaly, and pressure actually sits next to a vacuum and doesn't fill the available space. What a cool story. The truth is, if you make a claim, you have what's called the burden of proof. The globe Earth is a positive claim. You say the Earth is a spinning ball. You have the burden of proof. There's no scientific evidence for actual rotation, for curvature, for the fact that the vacuum of space exists. None of this is real and has any evidence. The Earth has to curve at a certain rate, but it doesn't. And I'm crazy and you've never tested it. And I know one thing. If you're an adult and you don't want to believe it, I don't care. The truth is, I'm telling you not to believe me. Stop blindly believing a fairy tale you were told when you were in kindergarten and shown cartoons of. But what I do have an issue with is when people are lying to children, when they're malleable and they believe whatever adults tell them. Because that is evil. And you want to know what the scriptures say about it?
If you are to leave one of these children astray, it's better you have a millstone tied around your neck and you be thrown to the depths of the sea. Now, I know a lot of people are not intentionally deceiving them. I'm not trying to be abrasive or radical. I'm just saying I think it's quite disgusting when we lie to children. And even though you may not know you're lying to children, they're being lied to. And they're being told that they live on a tiny speck of dust in an ever-expanding universe and that they came from apes. That's not true. That's stupid. There's no empirical evidence for that nonsense. They claim something called abiogenesis. This is where organic life stems from inorganic matter. This is literally impossible, but it has to be for evolution to exist. Supposedly, lightning struck primordial soup, and then rocks turned into humans, eventually because they turned into fish that decided, oh, I want to grow some feet now. Then they jumped up out of the water, they turned into rodents. That's right, they say your ancestor is rats. And then it turned into apes that turned into humans. But we don't have any intermediate species. We have no actual evidence. But just believe us. It took billions of years, I promise. You're not important. You evolved from nothing. You evolved from a rock. You evolved from an ape. Everything came from nothing. That's what people think the Big Bang says. It doesn't even say that. It says there's a pre-existing energy. And actually, supposedly, atheists believe in Big Bang. And it was proposed by a Catholic priest. Isn't that ironic? So anyway, in conclusion, again, because I was going to take a break, I might chat with my mans over here. All I'm trying to say is think for yourself. Don't blindly believe what they told you. NASA said they went to the to the moon in '69, but they haven't been able to go back for 50 years. And if you're out here protesting the government, or you think that NASA's the one governmental exception that tells the truth, that's pretty laughable to me. But either way, the government lies all the time. You think NASA's the one exception? You mean NASA, the governmental entity that brought Nazis over here through Operation Paperclip, which is declassified public information? They brought Nazis over here. And no, not just Nazi scientists that were innocent, SS officers that had tons of blood on their hands. Yeah, we put them in charge of space exploration. His name was Werner von Braun. He was an SS officer of the Nazi regime. Guess what he did? He wrote a science fiction book in the 50s. The main character's name is Elon, and he discovered the first civilization of Mars in this science fiction book. What a coincidence that in 2021, we have a guy named Elon Musk that's supposedly about to found the first civilization on Mars. You guys think that's a coincidence that the SS officer in charge of space exploration in NASA wrote a science fiction book in the 50s that predicted exactly what happened 70 years later? Yeah, that seems legit. To me, it sounds like you guys are coincidence theorists. You call me a conspiracy theorist. Now, I actually build all of my opinions on empirical evidence. You just want to say everything's a coincidence. Coincidentally, the Nazis predicted the future 70 years ago. What a cool story. And of course, people typically say, not just the government goes to space. Elon Musk, SpaceX, that's a private corporation. They actually get hundreds of millions of dollars of grants from the government every year. Elon Musk is on record saying that we would never have gone to space without NASA. So actually, it's just NASA. They knew people didn't trust the government anymore. They knew that a large percentage of the public don't actually believe the moon landing anymore. So they had to bring in a private entity, quote unquote, so you would blindly believe, well, this isn't the government, we can trust them. They also told you, some of you may know this, SpaceX claims they put a convertible into space. That's right. And they just took it off the lot after Tesla drove it for a long time, or after Elon Musk drove his Tesla to work for a few years. The problem with that is, of course, it has tires on it. I don't think you can have tires in a near-perfect vacuum, can you? So they kept it exactly stock right off of the lot, but they made one change. The change they made was they took off the rear-view mirror. Well, if you know anything about production, whenever you make a movie, there's something called the fourth wall. You can only show the audience 3 walls. You cannot show the fourth wall that would show the studio behind you. Well, conveniently enough, they took off the rear view mirror that would show behind the car. If you think there's a convertible flying in space where paint's not affected by the sun's heat in a vacuum and the tires aren't affected, and they coincidentally took off the rear view mirror that would show it's legit, once again, you sound like a coincidence theorist. You can't go to space. And it's not a big deal. We haven't even discovered 70% of the oceans yet. You live in a beautiful place. The earth is beautiful. Have you ever heard of Niagara Falls? What about the Grand Canyon? Go around and explore the earth for what it is. It's beautiful. It's geocentric. It's stationary. There's more on this earth than you could ever find. So stop looking into space cartoons, sitting in your house, scared to talk to people, scared of air. The truth is that we have a right inherently from the Creator to privately traverse the earth. I'm going to end it with this. I said this earlier. I'm going to give everyone a history lesson. The Declaration of Independence tells us that we get our rights from the Creator. Many people say that we get our rights from the Constitution, right? No, the Constitution is an articulation of our rights. The Declaration of Independence explains these rights come from the Creator. We are born with these rights. The government doesn't give them to us. The government has to adhere to our articulation of the rights, and that is the Constitution.
So the government doesn't give you your rights. You have them inherently. You don't need their opinion. You don't need their approval. All hell Biden. Apparently he told us we can breathe oxygen again if we'll just be genetically modified. You don't need permission from the government to breathe oxygen. You don't need permission from the government to leave your house. We don't have lockdowns. Oh, this was a free country. All of a sudden we have prison terms going around. You're in lockdown. What are you talking about? Is this a prison or a free country? Oh, we have curfews? No, I don't. I'm not 12 anymore. I actually don't have curfews. So we don't have to blindly believe the government. Stand up for your rights. They don't give you your freedom. They don't give you your rights. They work for you. The truth is we're supposed to abolish that government when it gets out of hand. Well, that was about 80, 100, 200 years ago. We're a little behind. We should probably wake up. So there you go. They lied about the earth. They're trying to divide you based on politics, race, whatever else they can come up with, because we're very dangerous when we are working together. They want to divide us. They have ran something called Operation Garden Plot, okay? Operation Garden Plot is where the military ran numbers on whether or not they could take the U.S. population over by force, accounting for their firearms. I thought the government loved you. Why did they run an operation seeing if they could take you over by force then? And guess what they found out? They can't. You got too many straps, bruh. So what are they going to do? They're going to divide you. They're going to get you to try to collapse yourself. Do not fall for it. We're strong together. We should all agree on all the amendments together. You should agree to disagree. If you disagree with what I'm saying, you should agree with my right to say it. I would encourage you to actually go try to prove your belief, though. So empirically test your belief. Don't blindly believe it. You have to believe that the one governmental agency that didn't lie was NASA, who worked with Nazis. So in summary, I'll give it to you one more time. The Earth is not a spinning ball in a vacuum. It defies multiple laws of physics, fluid statics, the second law of thermodynamics, etc. The Earth is not curving at 8 inches per mile squared to 1,000 miles. We do not see the curvature of the Earth at 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, which is actually necessitated based on the radius value of 3,959 miles, a circumference of 24,901. Okay, it has to curve at a certain way. We falsified the radius. It's not as simple as saying, oh, maybe the Earth's a little bigger then. Because when you falsify the radius, the entire model falls apart. Orbital trajectories of supposed planets require this number. Gravity, quote-unquote, requires this number. Day and night cycle require this number. Going to space requires this number. You need something called the radius of orbit to get escape velocity. You need to know the radius of the Earth and the distance above that to get your radius of orbit. You can't go to space without an accurate radius value. You can't explain the day and night cycle without an accurate radius value. The distances on the Earth from city to city would have to change. The entire model falls apart. If the radius value is wrong, we falsify the radius value. It's not a debate. This is why I've been censored and kicked off everything you can name, including payment processing companies, because they know that that's how people support my channel, because they demonetize us. So people send money on PayPal. Guess what they do? They kicked me off PayPal. They kicked me off Venmo for thinking the Earth is flat and not even cussing in my streams. This seems legit. You can be half naked twerking on YouTube. You're good to go. But how dare you question the official story of the Earth? PayPal will kick you off. And if you guys sit here and condone the fact that PayPal and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter all censor us, forcibly kicking us off their platforms, then you are the problem. Whether you think I'm right or wrong. This is the truth. Alright, so stand up for your rights before you don't have them anymore. The Earth is a geocentric stationary plane. It's flat, but it's not flat everywhere. Of course, we have mountains, we have valleys. It's called a topographical plane. Every single measurement of the Earth ever is done using plane survey data. Every measurement of the Earth requires a stationary flat Earth. We drop what's called a plumb line vertical to the Earth, assuming it to be a horizontal plane. We then take measurements over small increments of a flat surface, assuming it as such. This is the only way that we can even measure the Earth, assuming that it's flat. Okay? So the only way you can even measure the Earth is assuming it's flat. Oh, this guy says it isn't, so it must not be. Okay. Well, actually, I falsified your radius value. I'll give you $100 if you can even answer 3 basic questions about the globe Earth. $100 cash. Okay. This is just like someone telling me the Bible's real but never reading Genesis. His opinion is literally irrelevant. I'm talking about empirical evidence. We falsify the radius. Grow up. Okay, your fairy tales of space isn't real. And if you want to believe in them, that's cool. I'm actually doing this because children are being lied to. So if you want to just shout stupid things from the outside, I mean, come up here and talk to me like a man. Unlikely, though. That's not what gamma males typically do. So, in conclusion, Earth is a geocentric stationary plane. Geocentric means the center of everything. The sky is reset for all recordable history. The megalithic structures of the Egyptians still line up with the same stars they built them aligned to thousands of years ago. You would have observed something called parallax if the Earth was doing what they said it is, spinning, revolving, shooting through space as the galaxies shoot through space over 1,000,000 miles an hour. Yet the stars reset for all recordable history every single year around Polaris, the North Pole star right over the North Pole, which is the center of the surface of the Earth. So something's not adding up. The Earth's not curving,
not spinning. Whenever you feel it's not spinning, guess what? It's because it's not spinning. And I will say this, you have something called semicircular canals. They're in your vestibular system. This is in your ear. This is what allows you to spatial reasoning and balance. They detect the slightest change in angular motion. You would never be able to be on a spinning ball and not detect the motion. And when the only time you think it's spinning is if you're taking a few tequila shots. And whenever you start spinning when you lay down, guess what they tell you to do? Put your feet on the earth so you stop spinning.
No, the earth is not flat, it's
Because the
round.
earth's not
That's what I
spinning.
learned in school.
So when you see a sunset, you see the sun moving the sky away from you, it's just because the sun's moving away from you so you can't see it anymore. You know what they say? It's actually still and you're falling backwards 1,000 miles an hour. But I thought I was the crazy guy. Did you guys touch the live stream?
It's all good.
No worries, bro. Alright, so yeah, just in conclusion, because I've been on here for a while, I'm going to take a break. The Earth is not a spinning ball in a vacuum. You can't have pressure next to a vacuum. They lie. They can't go to space. Okay? No, they're not going to Mars. No, they're not going to the moon. They can't go to the moon for the last 50 years after they supposedly went in 69. Stop believing the government. They brought Nazis over here. NASA brought Nazis over here. I don't think we should blindly trust a troll propagated onto the American public by Nazis. 1 in 3 American people didn't even believe in the moon landing at the time. It's a joke. So the Earth is the geocentric center of everything. It's stationary, of course, meaning not moving. It's a topographical plane, meaning it is not curving in all directions like a ball would. We falsify the radius. It's no big deal. Peace out.
I wonder why nobody brought that up until now. That the fact that I'm told that the person brought in the boat, they go so far, the reason these guys fight because it's round. It's round. But if that was true, how could you take up a pair of binoculars and see a sequence? Why nobody never brought it up in high school? But that's what I was told. So you're right, there's no way that can be true. If you can find a binocular, just stronger binoculars, and you can see a sequence. If the thing was round, how could you do that? That's the only thing I heard you say, that's the strong. See, I wish I was round. All right, guys.
You're going down the balloons then too, Josh. I don't think so. Touch out.
Alright, what's up, guys? I think we're at like 3 hours. Alright, I'm gonna read y'all the chats. Sorry if I miss the super chats, maybe somebody can recollect them. I'll turn this down a little bit. Good stuff, thank you, bro. My pocket blasted Just Jack again? Dude, that happened last night, no way. Alright, Just Jack, I'm about to get you, bro. Wait, can I not can one of the other mods unhide Just Jack? It won't let me do it. They banned Jack. Awesome work, Austin. Thanks. Yeah, that happened yesterday. Jack's the guy that got banned. This is like really getting weird. And how did I do it on my pocket when it was in the backpack? It was in the backpack. Okay, there's Jack. Why do you keep killing me? Dude, the phone was in the backpack, bro. What are you talking about? I don't know. They don't like you, dude. We ladled too much Shabbat gravy. Yeah, that's going to settings. You blocked him. Nah, a mod unblocked him for me, and I just made you a mod, bro. You're good. Good job, Ted7 today. Thank you, bro. Y'all have spoken on you, Jack. Just playing. That's pretty funny. But Shannison's always pretty funny, bro. I'm gonna need you to get on board with the crew on the scriptures, bro. This is, of course, where we are, in case you guys forgot. Right outside the White House.
Congratulations. Thank you for your service.
I did kick some spammer, though. Nice. No, I said I banned him. It just always does that.
No.
Your shirt says you left your heart in Florida. Yeah, that's where I bought it. I normally would never wear the shirt either. I just bought it. I don't know. It's weird. Keep killing them, fam. No doubt, bro. What's up, Chocolate? You're a legend.
Yeah, we got her on the bus. Might as well give it to the students.
I'm gonna hold a sign on an intersection stating Yahusha is the way the earth is flat. Do it, bro. Oh, my wristband is upside down, Jack. I see you. My bad. It fell off, and I just threw it back on. Look, just always looking out for a brother, man. What would I do without you?
All right, so let's head down this way.
Every time I see a tour group, I just get like really triggered and want to pull the mic out again.
Pull the mic out.
Get your armband. Finally. Whew. Yeah, I got it.
Linda. Mimi. Linda. Linda.
Dude, if this pops right on, it's meant to be they get smacked. No, the Earth is not a magic spinning ball that defies physics, and this entire city was built by Freemasons. Hopefully you're told that on your tour, that every single person out here was a Freemason. Albert Pike, the only Confederate soldier with a statue outside in Washington, D.C., admittedly was a Mason and a Luciferian. You should go read his own literature. He also knew that the Earth was flat. They were also sun worshippers, and that's why they told you to go around the sun, and it has 666 all throughout the globe Earth model. In addition to this, they also idolize all of the Roman pagan gods. They believe that the Greek pantheon was not mythos, but rather real, and that's why Neptune is outside the front of the Library of Congress. There's a real tour of Washington, D.C. for you real fast. This entire place was built by Masonic psychopaths, and that's why you see a bunch of naked babies everywhere, which is super weird. They condone pedophilia as they did back in the Greek era, which is where they revere the Roman statues, are all over the city for a reason. They used to have little boys, and it was legal and known about publicly. That was their little secretaries, if you will. So anyway, now that you know that this city is actually very dark, you shouldn't just revere these people. Thou shalt have no engraven images. If you are revering these engraven images, we're in trouble. So yeah, Freemason psychopaths built this city. That's why that their literature tells you exactly what they are, and that's why that they have statues all over this place. Yeah, so they tell you that you have that there's actually a magic spinning ball next to a vacuum. This is impossible. And of course, they also tell you that they're Luciferians in their own literature, that the Earth is flat also. Yeah, got you. So no, and actually I was still taking a break. I'm about to take a break. I just wanted to say that real fast. I wanted to give you a real tour of the Washington, D.C. Statues you see. They were all Freemasons. You can read Manly P. Hall, Albert Pike. They tell you exactly what the reason for Washington, D.C. is. They tell you what the Earth really is. They tell you that they're Luciferians. They are very open about it. They just know that most people don't do any research, especially now that you got to post your pics for the gram. I'll catch up with you in a second, though. Sorry, guys, I had to do that. There was a tour going on, like, as soon as I put the mic down.
What did the police? They didn't tell you to leave.
No, they just told me to stay close to try to stay close to my speaker. I guess because it goes in and out. Harassers be harassing. Yeah, it's all good. Hey, what are they gonna do? They work for us. Chocolate, I don't know if you know, but I actually went and taped drive-by no photography permitted signs at the Pentagon yesterday. You know, like the military headquarters of the world. And guess what they did? They called their supervisor. The supervisor said, I'm allowed to stay. How you guys doing? Do you need anything? So, did you just get a wrench? Yeah, I had to give him his wrench back. He's lost it twice in the last 2 days. He's been a bad boy. Yeah, get the tours, man. Every time I see a tour, I gotta grab the mic. They watching you. Well, whatever. What are they gonna do? They can't touch me. Dope. Yeah, for sure. We've been going live for a while. I'm getting a little wore out, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, but I may do it one more time on the mic while it's still light outside. Look like they watching you. You know, I'm free entertainment. I've been offering everyone $100. They just won't take it, man. It's crazy. First Amendment audit flex. That was great. Yeah. Serious? Yeah, absolutely, bro. It's hilarious. Here, I'll flip you back over. You're awesome. Thank you. You're awesome, but thank you. You've been on fire. Yeah. Check it, bro. So I'm thinking we might go get a bite to eat. I'm starving, dude. I'm down to my last half bottle of water. You have a banner, be cool to see it. I don't have a banner. We were using Critical Inception. I gotta get a bunch of Flat Earth stuff made. I'm just gonna get Masquerade Tour stuff made with the QR code though. Karos 1 and Witsit would be an epic clash. That would be very interesting. Austin fears nothing. He has Yah to guide him and keep him safe. Exactly. If I was really scared, I wouldn't have walked up to the Pentagon with a camera, exposing that they stole all the money while there was a sniper looking at me. Turn the camera back. Okay. What's your Cash App? $ WitsitGetsIt. I'll check the Cash App in a second too. Freemason truth bombs really quick. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Creator's got his back. He's untouchable. Exactly. And actually, if I'm martyred, I get a crown, bro. We love you. Thank you, man. I love you, bro. I'm watching them watch you. Oh, okay. You got my back? I think they're actually over here. There they are. Did you find the plane that hit the Pentagon? Nope, there was no plane debris. There were like hundreds and hundreds of cameras though. Messed up Captain American. You guys be so funny, bro. You guys check these people so hard. Check here periodically for Flattoberfest updates. Yeah. All info supporting Witsit's in the description. Sweet. Normally when I go mobile, it's my old description, but I think the info should still be in there. $ WitsitGetsIt on Cash App, Whitsitt@protonmail.com on PayPal. Sent you money, homie. Thank you, bro. I just added homie to your comment. I just do that. I don't know, I'm weird. Let me go ahead and check it. I don't know why it's not updating. You must want me to throw this phone as far as I can. Do you guys want me to? All right, Frank, thank you very much for the donation, man. Much love. Thanks for the support. My boy Ramrock, thank you very much for the generous donation, bro. You're awesome. Thank you, bro. And it was awesome kicking it with you, dude. You're cool in real life, too, as is Frank. You both are legends. Keep crushing, get the word out there. And again, thank you very much for the generous donation and support, bro. Much love. It's much appreciated. You guys are what makes this stuff possible.
No, I said, have you seen my picture of Jeff? I put it on
One kid said the earth is not flat. I learned that in school. Dude, we have grown men that come over, like the grown men come, and they're just like, it isn't flat, you're stupid. And then they run away. It's hilarious. It's so funny, bro. Hundreds of cameras, but they mad you point one back. Yeah, exactly. They can tape every single movement you make there, but if you just do this, then they harass you. It says no unprohibited photography permitted, yet I'm automatically permitted to do so by the First Amendment, so I guess it was authorized. Ha ha ha. Or I said, yeah, no unauthorized photography. So good thing I'm authorized via the First Amendment, eh? And they literally, they called their supervisor, and the supervisor like told them to stand down and came and asked us if we needed anything. I'm like, no, thanks though.
Where's the info on the UFO?
Yeah, we asked them where the info was on the UFO report, that the report date's up, and I want our report now. Nah, they didn't even know anything about it. Clown world. You did amazing. Thank you, bro. Or thank you if you're not a bro. Thanks again, Ramrock. You're a legend. Actually, dude, I met you in person. Don't abuse your powers, but you're a mod. And no, it's not because he donated money. You don't get to donate money to be a mod or anything. I'm just saying, like, I met him in person. He was really cool. We ate. Should have said you guys need some water. I do need some water, man. Oh, my goodness. Funny if you wake one of the cops up and he quits on the spot. Yeah, unlikely, though. Not a bro. Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you very much, though. Get some grub. You crushed it, Austin. Thank you. Yeah, we're about to get some food for sure. If y'all got any questions or anything you want me to talk about real fast, hit me up. Because I'm pretty drained, I'll be honest. Y'all, bless you all in here. I love the energy. Yeah, this is the coolest group of people ever. I donated and got my wrench. You can too, hello. Offer $200 to replicate the eclipse shadow, smaller than object. Good times in Florida. Hope to see you in South Carolina. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully we get there. It's a while out, I think. If it's not, then we won't. Any positive response? Yeah, tons of people are listening and taping and asking questions and like giving us thumbs up. A lot of people, they're scared to do that in public, but I can read body language very well. So yeah, we woke up a lot of people today. I'm gonna wrap this up though. You were great. Thank you very much. So wonderful. Thank you. So we did all that outside of here. I'll take this off. I'll walk you guys around where we were. And I'm gonna call it a day, bro. I might do a stream later tonight, and that's why I definitely need to get off right now and go eat. Like my throat is low-key sore, bro.
Do you mind taking a picture of me?
Yeah. Do you want it up and down or sideways?
Don't matter.
Step over. Thank you, sir. Oh, you said the last shot was blurry. Let me take it over. No, I just said it was blurry.
It keeps saying that.
Okay, hopefully it looks all right. The first one didn't say that.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one. Thank you and blessings to you. That's it. Thank you for being on here and crushing. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I thought about doing a Facebook stream where I got really specific because I can't do it on YouTube. But honestly, I'm just tired, guys. I love you, but I'm tired. Thanks, Austin. Great job. Bless you and all in chat. Nice job. Keep with it. No doubt, man. Much love. Yeah.
Awesome. Really? How do you do that? I've been wanting to do that because I travel all the world.
Yeah.
How do you do that? You just create a YouTube channel?
Yeah, just create a channel, start posting. You have to get to 1,000 subs to go live.
Like, for example, I already have my YouTube right here. But how do you, so once you upload videos and that's how you start?
Yeah.
And then you just, they just automatically...
They'll start, like, yeah, some people will see them. You can send them to your friends, get them to share them. You'll build your numbers up, and then when you get to 1,000, you can go live.
Live on YouTube?
Yep.
And where do you go live? Like this is my page.
Yeah, you can't yet because so what you'll do is there'll be like a plus button up here.
When you're able to?
Yes.
Okay, once the channel opens.
Right. Yep. And it's after 1,000 subs. They made that rule not too long ago. You used to be able to just go live, but they changed it.
Do you get paid?
Yeah, but not really by YouTube, no, because
all the advertisements?
I don't, because I talk about a lot of quote-unquote conspiracy theories you're not allowed to talk about, so they demonetize me. If you don't talk about that, you'll get added. The way I make money is like my supporters donate.
Oh, awesome. That's what I want to do, because I travel everywhere, and I'm always, transmitting, and everybody says you should open a YouTube channel, since I'm always showing. Because I'm always working. Might as well,
Might as well, yeah.
I'm a Uber, so I travel and take families to different states, and I get paid for it, and at the same time I get to see all of this.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, people
So
like to
I
live
want
through
a
other
double
people.
good page.
Yeah, you should do it. Get double paid.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. I'm gonna catch up with you on the flip side, like a coin toss. Sing and speak truth unequivocally. I'm actually going to flip this around for the closing. Thanks again to all the support. Thank you. Sorry if I missed any super chats. I'll try to do a computer stream tonight, and then I'm gonna open up the phone line. So stay tuned. I'll open up the phone lines tonight so you can call in. Turn your phone back on for calls. Yeah, I will when I end the stream, bruh. Or maybe you're just trying to remind me things. At least she looks like a real woman. Chill out, bro. Nice work, Austin. Thank you very much. So I'll go live later on the MacBook, and then I'll open up the line so we can chat. I gotta go get something to eat. Thanks for kicking it. Seek and speak truth unequivocally. We were outside of this creepy psychopathic place right here today. Anyway, seek and speak truth unequivocally. The weak find contentment in the consensus of ignorance. So stand tall, speak the truth. Weak-minded people get together and throw stones at the independent thinkers. It's easier to fool someone than to convince them they've been fooled. Weak-minded people are always going to attack you because they're ignorant. It's okay. Be patient with them. Try to wake them up. Get right with the Father, Yahovah, the one true Messiah, Yeshua. He loves you, and he gives you eternal life. It's no big deal. It's not some like crazy dictatorship. He loves you, wants to make you free and give you power. And yeah, actually, whenever they revile you for his name's sake, rejoice, for they did it to the prophets before you. And there's nothing to fear because he's got your back, certainly not the air. If you want to support the tour, masqueradetour.com, MASKERAID tour.com. $WitsitGetsIt on Cash App, Witsit at protonmail.com on PayPal. Much love.